7 degrees. Forecast is clear. Not much wind to speak of, which makes things very comfortable for this sellout crowd tonight. Joe Blanton and Randy Wolf, the opposing pitchers. And for more on Randy Wolf's return to Philadelphia, let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, thanks, Chip. He spent 8 years pitching for Philadelphia as one of the most popular Phillies with a loyal following called the Wolfpack. But instead of being in the top seats in the upper deck in right field with Wolf masks and Wolfpack signs, I found the original founding members of the Wolfpack incognito with Phillies jerseys in the family section behind home plate. Randy Wolf, loyal to them just as they were loyal to him for those 8 years, left you guys tickets. You're wearing Philly shirts, no Wolfpack mask. What's the best case scenario? What do you want to happen tonight?
Phillies win. Phillies win for the Phillies. They don't have to win by 11 tonight, but a Phillies win.
That's what they say, but secretly I know that one of them told me he wants Randy Wolf to win the game. Another one actually drove Randy Wolf to the game yesterday. I asked Randy why he didn't come with the Wolfpack tonight. He said, I think they maybe have put me in the trunk of the car and not let me out. Back to you, Jim.
Great story, Craig, as Randy Wolf hopes to make it a triumphant return for the Dodgers. Their Budweiser starting lineup shapes up this way with Rafael Furcal leading things off. Matt Kemp moves back into the number 2 spot. He'll play center. Andre Ethier is in right. Manny Ramirez, James Loney, and Ronnie Belliard, the middle of the order for Joe Torre's club. With Russell Martin catching, Casey Blake drops to the 8th spot. And Randy Wolf pitches and bats 9th against right-hander Joe Blanton.
63 and 54, his career mark. And Charlie Manuel has said that he was their horse all season long.
Consistent for them as he pitched deep into ball games time after time. And he's a real challenge for this Dodger lineup. He throws all 4 pitches. He changes speeds very effectively. We talked about the meat of the order getting to Blanton. He's had real trouble with Ethier, Ramirez, and Loney. And he will expand the strike zone, especially down out of the strike zone low.
So Rafael Furcal is ready to go, and we are underway. Joe Blanton, 12-8 in the regular season, making his first postseason start for the Phillies in a long time. That was Game 4 of the World Series last year. And a high fly ball hammered to center field. Victorino has a beat on that. Good start for Joe Blanton. 1 out.
Now, both of these pitchers tonight want to keep the ball on the big part of the diamond. They're both fly ball pitchers. Ibanez, Victorino, and Jason Worth from left to right. Left side of the infield, Pedro Feliz and Jimmy Rollins. Rollins with 2 Gold Gloves. Chase Utley and Ryan Howard on the right side. And maybe the unsung hero of this Phillies team is their receiver, Carlos Ruiz, who's done a terrific job handling the pitching staff, especially in those last 2 starts in Games 2 and Game 3.
And what a huge weapon offensively, hitting 8th so far for Charlie Manuel's club, as Matt Kemp batting 2nd in tonight's Game 4 of the series. Joe Torre really has moved Kemp all around this lineup card so far against the Phillies. He's batted 2nd, he's batted 4th, and he's batted 5th.
Well, he's going to move him because he gets it. He's got 12 strikeouts in the postseason, and ever since that first inning home run in Game 1 of the division series, Joe hasn't gotten the production he needs from Matt Kemp.
Might have been the worst thing that ever happened to him, hitting a home run in his first at bat in the postseason. Sometimes you pursue that the rest of the postseason.
Dodgers in this particular series hitting just .234 as a team. They've struck out 19 times. They've walked only 5 times against this Philadelphia pitching staff.
Don Mattingly has given his hitters a game plan of don't chase Blanton low. If you want to chase him high, that's fine, but we've got to bring him up. We can't chase the sinker, the changeup, and the slider down.
That ball hit toward Feliz at 3rd. And Howard in foul ground is able to keep his toe on the bag, and Kemp rolls out for the 2nd out here in the 1st inning.
You know, the end result, though, Buck, is that you can have any game plan you want, but if you have a guy who lives at the knees all night long and gets strikes, you have to alter the game plan a little bit, and Kemp caught chasing the ball out of the strike zone.
Here's the right fielder, Andre Ethier. He's 3 for 11 so far in this series, with a couple of runs batted in. And one of few Dodgers really swinging the bat well overall this postseason. 1 ball, no strikes from 6'3" tall Joe Blanton out of Nashville, Tennessee. He's 244 pounds, former Oakland Athletics first-round draft pick. Phillies got him for the stretch drive last year, and he went 4-0 in 13 starts in 2008. He was a big part of Philadelphia's stretch drive in their World Championship year.
Once again, we talked about how important it is for the Dodgers to get something going offensively tonight. Ethier, Ramirez, and James Loney combined 28 for 50 with 3 home runs. That's major damage.
Breaking ball hammered toward Howard at first. He will win the race to the bag. And Blanton has a 1-2-3 top half of the first in Game 4. Shane Victorino and Chase Utley, no surprises, 1, 2, and 3. Ryan Howard has had an unbelievable postseason here in 2009. Jason Worth is in right field. Raul Ibanez in left. Pedro Feliz at third. Carlos Ruiz has had a homer and 4 RBIs so far against the Dodgers in the series. Joe Blanton pitches and bats ninth. And Randy Wolf back at Citizens Bank Park tonight, but pitching for the Dodgers.
Well, Randy Wolf will lead the team in innings pitched and games started. 2.98 ERA after the All-Star break, and no sleeves on this cool night.
Scouting for Randy Wolf, fastball, curveball, slider, and change. He's got to throw his breaking stuff over in fastball counts, and he can't afford to give these Philly hitters too many hitter counts.
First pitch is rifled into left field. Jimmy Rollins, a leadoff single.
So much for getting ahead.
Well, after watching game 1 and 3, I'm sure Randy Wolf said, I'm going to throw strike 1 to these hitters. It was supposed to be outside and down. It was in and over the middle, and Jimmy Rollins took advantage of that pitch by Wolf.
Rollins a threat to steal. Victorino in the box. 4 for 12 is he with a homer and 3 knocked in. Phillies have hit 5 home runs in this series. Victorino's hit 1 of them. And a ball high to center fielder Shane Victorino. Randy Wolf has pitched in this ballpark before. He has started this postseason for the Dodgers, but had a shaky run against the Cardinals. Walked 5 men in 3 2/3 in that first round series with St. Louis.
Well, interesting enough, those walks, 2 of those were to Albert Pujols intentionally, as Joe Torre was trying to stay away from that big Cardinal slugger.
But as you both mentioned in the open, Joe Torre's club hasn't had the luxury of pitching around Ryan Howard. A lot of base runners on against these Dodgers starters. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Joe Torre knows the first 2 innings are crucial for Randy Wolf to really get into the flow of the game so he can get his curveball over, so he can change speeds and get the Philly hitters to chase that high fastball. Randy Wolf does a good job of shutting down the running game. The base stealers just 7 for 12 this year. And he'll mix it up. He'll hold the ball. He'll hold his leg. He'll try to freeze the runner at first base.
Good jump, Rollins, and the pitch popped up. Belliard and for call, and now Ethier is there, and he reaches in at the last moment and makes the play. Boy, the infield for the Dodgers was in motion with the runner, and that nearly paid big dividends for Shane Victorino on that pop-up.
Well, Jimmy Rollins got an excellent jump off first base. I think had the base stolen, but Shane Victorino swinging on this hit and run, and as soon as the infielders went out, both of them trying to decide who's going to get it. Nice job by Ethier. Coming in, easier play.
You can see the second baseman Belliard had coverage, and because of that, Furcaw goes out into right field, and Jimmy Rollins retreats and gets back to first base safely. It was a high curveball that Victorino popped up.
So Rollins back at first with 1 man out. And it looks like on the recoil, Russell Martin took some punishment off the bat of Shane Victorino. 1 on, 1 out for Chase Utley. He's 3 for 12 in the series. And he jumps at the first pitch, pops that up to the right side. Who wants that? It'll be James Loney. Good pitch, good result. 2 out.
Well, so far he's gotten an out with his curveball in a fastball count, and he's gotten a fastball inside to tie up Chase Utley. Those are things that the starters haven't been able to do.
Well, he'll have to come up with some pitches here against Ryan Howard, who's just had an amazing postseason. 12 RBIs. He's hit all assortment of pitches, whether it's fastball down, slider down and in, curveball backdoor away. Look at those numbers.
And a home run, 6 driven in so far in this series, and it's really remarkable the damage that Howard has done against the Dodgers in this playoff series. He hit just 107 against Dodger pitching in the regular season. And he has been locked in. High and tight, ball 1.
What the Dodgers did in the regular season, they pitched him up with fastballs and they crowded him. They haven't been able to get that fastball up in the zone, and every time they miss down, he's been on it.
If you want to pitch a batter up and in, you have to be able to throw it for a strike occasionally, so he knows that he has to swing at it.
That ball exploded away from Ryan Howard. 1 ball, 1 strike. If you're a Dodger fan, that is a very encouraging stat.
But it sure is, especially because the Phillies have hit home runs in the last 6 games in the postseason.
In last night's ball game, they got a 2-run shot from Jason Worth, part of a 4-run first inning. Shane Victorino hit a 3-run bomb in the 8th inning of that 11-0 final score. Howard hit a solo home run in the 4th inning of Game 2. And then a couple of 3-run homers by the Phillies in the opener. That was the 8-6 game out in Los Angeles, one by Carlos Ruiz and another by Raul Ibanez. Rollins hit the first pitch of the game into left field. He stands at first now with 2 outs.
Randy Wolf disappointed. He thought that was a good pitch, but Martin was sinking on the outside corner. Ball came back to the inside. You do not get this call. You should, but you do not get this call from umpires when the ball is away from where the catcher is sitting up.
That looked like it had about 4 inches of the plate.
So Ted Barrett missed that one. 3 balls and a strike. Dangerous count in favor of Ryan Howard here in the first.
You never know if Randy Wolf feels like he has touch on those pitches. Every time he gets in trouble against these big Philadelphia hitters, I would go slower more than faster. Breaking pitch, changeup more than challenging these hitters.
Driven deep right field, and he didn't miss again. Line drive homer for Howard.
You're locked in. Ryan Howard, that ball was up, but it was out over the plate just enough for him to extend his arms and drill it into the seats.
Well, because of the inability of the Dodgers starters to pitch Ryan Howard in effectively, he's become Barco Lounger. He's at ease at that plate. Completely comfortable. Challenged with a fastball at his own peril.
And he ties Lou Gehrig and gets a curtain call. So 2-0 Philadelphia with Jason Worth in the batter's box, and he's quickly down a strike. Worth 1 hit in this series, but that was that line drive homer to straightaway center field in the first inning last night. There's that off-speed pitch you were calling for Howard.
4 of the first 5 hitters now have swung at the first pitch for the Philadelphia Phillies as they are coming out aggressive.
That's a little low, and Russell Martin held that for an extra moment for Ted Barrett. Again, our pitch tracks is a close approximation of the strike zone.
It might be a close approximation, but that's a strike. I mean, that's hard to say. You hate to get on anybody. Don't want to get on Ted Barrett. But that ball's down the middle, knee high, and has to be called a strike if Wolf has any chance.
Base is clear, 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Again, the first couple of innings, Joe Torre was hopeful that Randy Wolf could get through it and keep the hitters off stride, but Ryan Howard's second home run in this series. He now has 4 extra base hit. That's as many as the Dodger team has.
And as we talked about in our opening, as troublesome as the Dodgers starting pitching has been, with the exception of Vicente Padilla, this is a Dodger team that's not swinging the bats at all right now. And already down 2-0 in this first inning in game 4. Big swing game. A lot of time left, quite obviously. If LA wins this game, it's a 2-2 series. If not, they're down 3-1. Popped up foul. We'll do it again.
We've heard all along just how tough the Dodgers are in their character and their ability to come back. We're going to see firsthand whether they can answer the Phillies.
And Jason Worth, one of the more patient hitters in the National League. We'll see yet another, this time with a 3-2 count. Raul Ibanez waits next. That's driven to right and right at Andre Ethier. He's over a couple of steps. And the inning is over. Ryan Howard hits his second homer of this series. A 2-run shot to right with 2 outs. 1 inning in the books in Game 4. Phillies up 2-0 over the Dodgers. On TBS is brought to you in HD by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Manny Ramirez, James Loney, and Ronnie Belliard coming up for the Dodgers in the second inning of play tonight. Sharply hit toward Rollins at short. Los Angeles last night had just 3 hits. Manny had 2 of them.
Well, it certainly helps your pitcher when you get a 2 spot in the first inning again, just like last night with Cliff Lee getting 4 runs in the first inning. You go out there and you're a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more relaxed, and you can be aggressive in the strike zone.
And now first baseman James Loney stands in. 90 RBIs in the regular season. 1 RBI so far in this LCS. And he hove himself in with a line drive home run out in Los Angeles. Loney 7 for 10 in his career against Joe Blanton. And had a good cut, but falls behind 0-2. And that really seems to illustrate the difference between these two offenses so far in this series. Phillies are usually up 2-0. Dodger hitter seems to be 0-2 all the time. Two out.
Boy, that's his bread and butter. An inside changeup that runs back over the plate. Watch how Loney brings his hands in. He thinks it's off the plate inside, and the movement takes it on the inside corner. Great call by Ruiz and great execution by Blanton.
So here's Ron Belliard. Ronnie Belliard had the other hit for Los Angeles last night. And strike one from Joe Blanton. We talked about how he was a model of consistency in the regular season. Very consistent in the strike zone so far in Game 4 tonight. Strike after strike after strike.
Well, the Dodger hitters got to do something. They got to step out and mess his timing up. Make him wait on the mound. Cliff Lee got into a groove just like this last night.
And that quiets the crowd for the moment. No balls, 2 strikes. That was something the Dodgers coaches were sort of questioning, why they didn't try to interrupt the rhythm of Cliff Lee in Game 3. Lee was absolutely brilliant. And that ball hit high in the air toward left. Ibanez has a play on it. And they Raul as he makes the catch. 6 up, 6 down for Joe Blanton. Phillies in command early. For the most sports in HD, call 1-800-DIRECTV. Ron Darling, Buck Martinez, Craig Sager, Chip Carey back in Philadelphia, where Raul Ibanez will start things off against Randy Wolf. A long laser beam home run hit by Ryan Howard has accounted for tonight's scoring. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Phillies left fielder, Raul Ibanez. And now Wolf ahead of him, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wolf began his career with the Phillies in 1999, pitched here through the 2006 season, pitched a season in Los Angeles. That was 2007. The Padres in Houston in 2008, now back with Los Angeles, where he went 11-7 in the regular season. And a line drive the other way by Ibanez is foul and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Want to welcome those of you who have been watching the Yankees and the Angels in the American League Championship Series. The Angels just beat the Yankees by a 5-4 final score. And so the Yankees now lead that series 2-1. And here in Philadelphia, Ryan Howard hit a 2-out, 2-run homer in the first inning to give the Phillies the lead. In the air toward left, Manny Ramirez has room. And Ibanez flies out for out number 1.
Chip, you mentioned Randy Wolf and the career span 99 to 2006. He won 69 games for the Phillies. That was 15 more games than anybody else won. Rick Myers won 54 over that span. A very popular figure here. He actually started opening game here in this ballpark when Citizen Bank Park opened up, and very good pitcher, very consistent pitcher for the Phillies.
And this year's been kind of a frustrating year for Randy Wolf. 34 starts, but 16 no decisions. For Los Angeles, he had 9 potential wins squandered by the Dodgers bullpen. That's more than any other major league starter this year. And obviously, if all 9 of those games had been in the win column, you'd be looking at a 20-game winner for Joe Torre this year.
Well, 21 of his 34 starts, he gave up 2 earned runs or less. The problem is that early in the year, he was only going 5, maybe into the 6th inning. A lot of baseball to be played, and that's where those leads were squandered.
2 balls, no strikes to Pedro Feliz, the Phillies third baseman. He's 1 for 10 in the series, but has enjoyed facing Randy Wolf in his major league career. 3 home runs in 17 head-to-head at bats.
Well, he's a good matchup. He likes Randy Wolf because he throws those high fastballs, and Feliz is a good high fastball hitter. And Wolf doesn't throw in the mid-90s. His fastball will be 88 to 90.
That's golfed out of play, foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There are no weak spots in this Philly offense right now.
Well, especially when Carlos Ruiz is hitting out of the 8th slot like he is right now.
Ryan Howard's knocked in 8 runs in this series. Ruiz on deck. He's 5 for 8 against the Dodgers. And that misses high and tight to fill up the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Charlie Manuel said for all the accolades that are justifiably given to Rollins, Victorino, and Howard and Worth, it's the bottom of his order that he thinks is just as important for his team's offensive success. That ball popped into shallow right. Long run Ethier, and he covers a lot of ground and makes a nice running catch for the second out. Ruiz gets hot. Rollins drives in a lot of runs, and he too roasting in this series.
In game one, he had a 3-run home run off Clayton Kershaw, part of a 5-run inning. He's gotten clutch hits, and what he's been able to do is neutralize the running game with his strong arm. He's gotten a lot of fastballs to hit up out over the plate, and he is truly the quarterback of this ball club and done a great job of improving his game calling skills.
And Ruiz has just killed the Dodgers all year long. Let's see, Buck, if they change the scouting report.
Now they better rip up the one they started with. 13 for 22 against the Dodgers, including this championship series. 2 home runs and 9 RBI.
And Ronnie, as a pitcher, you know this is a hugely important out for Randy Wolf to get.
You always want to get that 8th place out, start with the pitcher the next inning. The problem has been every time we look up, Carlos Ruiz is 2-0. They have not been able to get ahead of him. He wants to swing the bat. You get ahead, you can throw balls after that.
You can't get him fastballs when he's got the hitter count, and Wolf was able to get the changeup outside.
Base is clear with 2 out. And that caught the inside corner to even things up.
Soft and fastball counts. That's what you have to do to neutralize this potent Philly lineup.
Broken back. Belliard behind the bag with a bare hand. What a play. Ronnie Belliard behind the second base bag makes a terrific catch and throw and takes care of Ruiz, and a 1-2-3 bottom of the second inning. Is presented by Budweiser. Third inning. 6 up, 6 down for Joe Blanton so far. Russell Martin starts things off for the Dodgers. He's 3 for 9 in the series. And another first pitch strike from the Phillies right-hander.
Another ball inside by these Philadelphia starters. Just move the feet of Russell Martin so he's not so comfortable up at that plate.
That's ticketed for the right center field gap, but look at Worth, cover ground. Nice running catch, 7 in a row. Retired by Blanton to start our game. 2-0 Phillies lead at MLB postseason and Espanol. The live MLB postseason Spanish language feed is available via SAP. Here's Casey Blake. Blake 1 for 11 in this series, and lifetime against Blanton is 1 for 23. Interesting decision, guys, for Joe Torre, and allowing Blake to remain in the lineup with his offensive woes in this series and his head-to-head troubles with Blanton.
Yeah, Joe values his defense at third base with the left-hander Randy Wolf pitching, and he knows the numbers. And we talked about possibly changing the lineup, maybe Joe thinking about adding a different bat in the order, but he values Blake's defense at third.
And Randy Wolf, one of his strengths is that curveball down and into the right-handers. If that's put in play, invariably it always will be to the left side of the defense.
2 balls and a strike to Casey Blake. Randy Wolf, the pitcher, waiting on deck. And Jimmy Rollins tested again. And the Phillies are picking and grinning early tonight in Game 4. 8 in a row retired. And Wolf bats with the bases clear and 2 out. Not many members of the Wolf Pack apparently at the ballpark tonight. They're booing the former Philly, who can handle the bat, as you see. A strike has him behind in the count.
Well, I tell you what, these Philly starters are in a rocking chair. They are rocking and firing, throwing strike after strike. And look how quickly they're working. And it's not up to Randy Wolf to make him slow down. It's up to the hitters. Got to step out, slow Joe Blanton down.
Well, Randy Wolf this year is the closest you're going to get to a pitcher who can hit 11 RBIs this season. That's the first time it's been reached since Fernando Valenzuela in 1990.
Hard hit ball. Ryan Howard, nice backhand stab, and 9 up and 9 men down. Phillies have a 2-0 lead. We're back after this sneak peek of the new movie Sherlock Holmes in theaters everywhere Christmas Day. Visit TBS Hot Corner at MLB.com/TBS Hot Corner to sign up and watch live video companion coverage of this game and every NLCS game. Ryan Howard 2, Dodgers nothing as the Phillies come up here in the bottom of the third inning with the pitcher's spot first for Randy Wolf. He set down 4 in a row after Howard's long homer to right. And Blanton, Rollins, and Victorino are ready to go.
You saw that note on Joe Blanton hit a home run in the World Series in Game 4, and he sent his bat to Cooperstown. And the pitcher to have a bat in Cooperstown, that's a pretty special honor.
Yeah, he said, well, when I was 12 years old, I thought that might happen, but not as a major league pitcher. Line drive takes care of him. Hard hit ball, but 5 in a row. Retired by Randy Wolf. It's time to talk, brought to you by Charles Schwab. Joining us tonight is Dodger manager Joe Torre.
Joe, Ryan Howard's on fire. You got any ideas how you might be able to slow him down?
Well, getting better counts. I think that's one. You know, it looked like Wolfie was pretty close with some pitches, and you know, Russell, as you catchers do every once in a while, you'll hold the ball there, and you know, I'm not too sure they weren't strikes, which you know makes a difference if you're 3-1 and 2-2. But you know, he's tough. I mean, he's certainly in a situation where you pitch to him. He's a left-hand pitcher, and I'll tell you one thing: he's a changed hitter from he was a year ago, and even maybe earlier this year, because he's a lot more patient, and he's taking a lot of pitches he used to swing at.
Blanton seems to be working so quickly, Joe. Is there anything that your hitters can do to slow him down a little bit?
Well, yeah, step out. You know, we certainly know the pace he likes to pitch with, and you know, it's up to us really to set the rhythm rather than him. There's no question, Ronnie. And you know, right now it looks like we're forcing it a little bit.
And Wolf, another 2-ball count to Jimmy Rollins, who singled and scored ahead of the Howard homer. And Wolf is not seeing eye to eye on any of these pitches to Jimmy Rollins in this third inning at bat. According to pitch tracks, all 3 of those were strikes.
That's one thing a pitcher will do. He try to make an adjustment and try to figure out where the strike zone is, and then as you get zeroed in, you can make the adjustments. Randy Wolf's a pretty good command guy, and he can hit some corners.
3-1 pitch is popped to right field, so a break for Wolf as Ethier takes care of that, and Wolf is retired 6 in a row now.
Nice job by Randy Wolf. You know, a chance to really come back in that count. Very nice. Stay hot.
Here's Victorino. Busy night already for Andre Ethier. 5 putouts in right field tonight. And guys, that's not a bad place to pitch in this homer-friendly ballpark. We've seen, yes, Ryan Howard can hit it out that way, but left field's the very hitter-friendly part of this park.
Well, you know, what's interesting is that 2 different pitchers here. Blanton's going to get a lot of ground balls, and of course, Randy Wolf, higher in the strike zone, is going to get more fly balls.
One ball, no strikes. And upstairs, 2-0. And that homer and 3 RBIs you saw in Victorino's line score came last night.
Little fastball that's supposed to be in, Buck, but no, drifted out over the plate. That's the longest home run we've seen of all the home runs so far.
3 balls and a strike.
That home run knocked Cliff Lee out of the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charlie Manuel was going to let him go back for the 9th inning, but when that inning unfolded and Victorino hit the 3-run home run, he said, you know what, let's get Durbin into the game here.
10 strikeouts, 3 hits allowed by Lee over 8 innings. An 11-0 victory for Philadelphia, and Randy Wolf is settling in very nicely now. He's retired 7 straight. He will have the top of his order coming up, trying to reach base for the first time tonight.
Commissioner of Baseball. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Top of the Dodger order, now facing Joe Blanton for the second time tonight. And that means Rafael Furcal is in the batter's box. He flied to straightaway center his first time up. Dodgers don't have a hit. They don't have a base runner. And look at where Phillies is playing, thinking Furcal might bunt, and he showed it there and took a strike.
They got to do something to get some offense going.
Well, we've seen Rafi also fake that bunt and kind of slash bunt it, try to push it past Phillies at third base.
The Dodgers haven't had back-to-back hits since the 8th inning of Game 2. A span of 21 innings. Tough to score runs when you can't bunch hits.
Right now they'd settle for one in a row. As 9 up, 9 down for Blanton in a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. Toward first, Ryan Howard, good pickup. And he's had a fine series defensively for the Phillies. It's time to talk, brought to you by Charles Schwab. Sam Perlazzo's the Philadelphia third base coach, and he's kind enough to join us now.
Coach and infield coach, and Sammy, Chase Utley had a couple of problems with throws out in Los Angeles. Was there anything you saw mechanically what was the root of those problems?
Well, I tell you, the first one I thought was a situation where he just got mistimed on a toss and kind of landed both feet and really couldn't have a chance to throw the ball. And the second one, he just didn't close up and get the ball over to first base. He kind of stayed back, left his arm out there, and you know that happens once in a while, and it had some attention drawn to it because it happened 2 days in a row.
Sammy, I know you've got to high five Ryan Howard about 50 times a year, but I know you did a lot of work with him this winter to shore up his defense. He's really improved.
He certainly has, and You know, what's impressive about that is he really wanted to do some work. He felt bad about the way he was playing in the past. And, you know, very shortly into the workouts, I found out that he's a heck of an athlete. So, you know, it was kind of easy to get things going after that, and he's really taken to it, and he's confident. And I think you see that, and he's having fun.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Matt Kemp. Bases clear. And that just missed. Boy, it's easy to have fun when you're swinging the bat the way Ryan Howard is. And we saw him start a beautiful double play in this series as well. And everything's clicking for him right now.
You'd be surprised how many players play better defensively when they're hot with the bat. They're on point with all of their game.
Yeah, and I think Ryan Howard wants to be a complete player. He's a good base runner, and he's a fine defender.
And there's the first Dodger base runner of the ball game. Matt Kemp coaxes a 1-out walk. And he's aboard in front of Andre Ethier, who hit 31 home runs in the regular season. And a long ball here would tie this game at 2.
First walk, they went 18 1/3 innings without that walk. That's good postseason pitching.
Just 6 walks earned by the Dodger batsmen so far in this series. And here's Ethier. Chance now for the Dodgers. There's Blanton to the belt for the first time, and that hits the umpire at first. Tom Hallion got clobbered in foul ground.
Boy, he got hit hard. And you can see the concern with Ryan Howard and Mariano Duncan. Look at Hallion in foul territory. Just couldn't react in time to get out of the way. There was a lot of hook on that. It looked like it hit him on the left ankle.
It was like a tracer. It kept tracing his path and following Tom Hallion. Remember now, not only does he have to get out of the way, he's responsible for making that call fair or foul. So part of the reason that Tommy got hit. He'll shake it off, though. Tough and good umpire.
They're just helping him regroup a little bit. Both concerned, obviously. I mean, they know how quickly that ball gets down there in foul territory, and that's a lot to do with why the coaches are now required to wear helmets. You see Mariano Duncan with that batting helmet on, but this is just a rocket with topspin. No way to get out of the way for the umpire, Tom Hallion.
So a quick strike to Ethier. Kemp at first. And a big swing and a miss. He was thinking home run and came up empty. Another 0-2 count.
Well, the right-handed pitchers for the Philadelphia Phillies have been feeding Ethier, after they've got ahead of him, a steady diet of change-ups away.
Fastball away that time as the count goes to 1-2.
One thing Blanton does very well is he can locate his changeup. He throws it to the inside as he did earlier in the game, and then he will throw it to the outside. He got Loney back in the second inning on an inside changeup.
Didn't get the inside corner.
This is what Don Mattingly wanted from his hitters. Don't chase the ball down. That's where Blanton's really going to wear you out.
Pitch track said that was a strike. Dodgers may have gotten a break. Let's see if they can cash it in. High fly ball center field. Victorino on the run. Track. Leaps shy of the wall and hangs on. Ethier just missed.
Well, Victorino plays so shallow, but he has the ability to go back on the baseball and catches this right before the wall and gets it back in. Good outfielders can take their eye off the baseball, run to a spot, pick it up again, and make the play.
He almost overran this ball as he got to the warning track and kind of had to reach back over his shoulder to make the catch.
Might have had some help from one of his bullpensmen as well, telling him he had room shy of the wall. And now Manny Ramirez with a man at first and 2 outs. Dodgers still looking for their first hit in tonight's Game 4. Where have the Phillies been going to get Manny Ramirez out in this series?
Well, they've been going inside and hard. Soft stuff away, inside for strikes with the fastball. Now that has been working for about 150 years. The difference is Ramirez is one of those hitters that in the past has been able to look in, and even though you might make your pitch, he can handle that pitch. So far in this series, he has not been able to.
Now, even Pedro Martinez in game 2 went inside 88, 89 miles an hour and got him to pop up twice to the first baseman.
There's that ball inside, and he fouls it off at the plate.
Yeah, that's the ego pitch that gets batters in trouble when they try to hit that inside fastball that's not a strike. You don't want to get beat inside, and you try to get that pitcher out of your kitchen, but it's not a strike. You got to take it.
Joe Torre and Don Mattingly would love him to take that pitch. You're right, Buck.
Philly fans serenaded Manny Ramirez last night. They're starting the same here in the 4th. High fly ball down the right field line. Worth on the run near the stands, has no play. And Manny Ramirez behind in the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hammered, and that is a fair ball down the left field line. Kemp on his way to third will stop there. A long single for Manny Ramirez. And Randy Marsh got all tied up down the third base line as that ball was headed his way. It took him a while to signal fair. And now the Dodgers have their first hit in the ball game and have men at first and third with 2 outs.
Well, the problem is here, Buck, tried to come in, you said both sides of the plate, with a changeup in, did not get it down, and that's why Manny Ramirez was able to handle that pitch.
Now, we talk about Ethier, Ramirez, and Loney getting to Blanton, and Manny hit the ball hard after Ethier hit one up against the wall in center field, and now if Loney can follow suit here and deliver, Dodgers have a chance to get on the board with 2 outs.
Loney took a called third strike in the middle of the 2nd inning. 2-0 Phillies. Dodgers threatening, and this is where Blanton has been awfully good. Regular season with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. The opposition hit just $156 against him this year.
And he does it by going softer than harder. He lets the hitters' energy, anxiety get themselves out. He will stay right in the bottom of the zone. 156 in these situations.
But you saw Loney following the advice of Don Mattingly. Make Blanton get the ball up if you can. That time he hit the lower portion of the strike zone to even things up. And now it's 1-2. Line drive, base hit into right field, and Kemp will score. Manny Ramirez stops at second, and James Loney puts the Dodgers on the board and cuts the Phillies' lead in half.
Finally, back-to-back hits. We'd mentioned the long drought for the Dodgers, and it's two guys that have always been a problem for Joe Blanton, Manny Ramirez and James Loney. Get the Dodgers on the board.
Curveball down and in, handled by Loney, and maybe the most important RBI, two-out RBI for the Dodgers in this series to date.
That quiets the crowd for the moment. Now 2 on, 2 out for Ronnie Belliard, who flied to left. Belliard, one of the hottest Dodger hitters down the stretch in September and October, finds himself behind in the count, 0-1.
And because he's had to pitch out of the stretch, he's had to work a lot slower in this inning.
Blanton started the game by retiring the first 10 men he faced, then walked Matt Kemp. Back-to-back 2-out hits. And the Dodgers down a run. Now Belliard working the count. Second time through the order, fellas. A lot more productive for Los Angeles now.
Despite those good numbers with runners in scoring position, a little tighter is Blanton here. Working a little slower. That tempo disrupted, just like Joe Torre said.
And now 3 straight out of the strike zone and a good hitter's count of 3-1.
Both of these pitchers have had to throw it in a teacup. It's a very small strike zone tonight.
Heavy workload for Blanton in the fourth. And the bases are loaded for Los Angeles with 2 outs. So Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, makes his way to the center of the diamond as Russell Martin, the Dodger catcher, stands in a 1-run game. And this place was roaring just a few short moments ago. Now Citizens Bank Park is very, very quiet as the game on the base paths for Los Angeles in Game 4.
The Dodgers had 4 hitters reach base all night last night against Cliff Lee and Chad Durbin. Tonight in this inning, they've had the bases loaded now with 2 outs and a chance to take the lead.
Manny Ramirez is at third. James Loney with an RBI hit at second. Ronnie Belliard at first with a 2-out walk. And no place to put Russell Martin, the Dodger catcher.
And the reason for this inning is all of a sudden Blanton is not throwing strike one. The Dodger hitters are being very patient. And Randy Wolf, after a shaky start, gave him 2 scoreless innings to get him back into this ball game.
Line drive left field, base hit. That'll at least tie the game. And the bases remain loaded for the Dodgers as Russell Martin, a clean hit to left field, ties it 2-2.
Ball was hit right at Raul Ibanez in left field, so even with 2 outs, James Loney had to stop at third base. This is a breaking ball that Martin stays on and hammers it into left field. You can see it's a one-hopper to Ibanez, who throws well. Larry Bowa had to stop Loney at third.
I'll tell you, that had to kill Bowa not to be able to send him there. Aggressive personality, of course. Larry wanted to send him, just could not.
So Casey Blake's the 8th man to hit in the inning. The Dodgers have quieted the crowd. They have tied the game 2-2, and again Blanton behind in the count.
If you don't get the call as a strike low in the strike zone, you have to raise it a few inches, and then you become vulnerable.
And that's the game plan Mattingly gave his hitters. Make him bring it up.
Again, it's low. Ball 2. And now Ruiz out for a talk.
Remember, Blanton was sent to the bullpen for the postseason after being so successful this season with those 12 wins. 16 days since he's taken the mound as a starting pitcher.
Didn't look to bother him over the first 3 1/3, where he retired the first 10 men in a row. Remember, he pitched out of the bullpen until tonight in this 2009 postseason. 2-0 count. And Casey Blake 1 for 24 lifetime against Blanton. Would love to snap out of that right here and put the Dodgers in front.
A little overzealous there in the 2-0 count, but in his first at bat hit a bullet to Jimmy Rollins for an out.
And now Blake in the driver's seat. 3 balls and a strike. Full count.
Quite a different feel here at Citizens Bank Park after Cliff Lee dominated this Dodger lineup last night.
Two walks, 3 hits, 2 runs so far in the inning for Los Angeles. They've tied the game at 2. And now the merry-go-round will begin with a full count. And a ground ball up the middle. Utley to his right. Throws to first in time, and that'll retire the side. James Loney with the first RBI hit of the night. Manny Ramirez also got involved with a single. Russell Martin's base hit with 2 outs tied the game 2-2 as we head to the bottom of our 4th inning. Going in the 4th inning, they've tied it up at 2, and now Randy Wolf, after a long rest, will face Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, and Jason Worth in the home half of the 4th inning. Wolf has sent down 7 straight men, and he got Utley to pop out his first and only time up tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Phillies' second baseman. 31 homers, 93 driven in for Utley, one of 4 men with 30 or more homers for Philadelphia this year. Ryan Howard, Jason Worth, Raul Ibanez joining Chase Utley in that illustrious category. And Utley handles left-handed pitching very effectively. Hit it at .288 against Southpaws in 2009's regular season play. 1 ball, 1 strike to him.
Now, he handles them so well because he doesn't bail. He hangs in tough. He's right on top of the plate. He's not afraid of getting hit. So there's no shoulder flying or bailing out. He hangs in tough. And he will take that breaking ball the other way. Right back up the middle, shoot it into the power alley in left center.
High fly ball off the end of the bat into shallow right field, where Ethier camps out. Another chance for Andre, and he makes it. 8 in a row have been retired by Randy Wolf here in Philadelphia. So many times, guys, in this series we've talked about the importance of a shutdown inning. Wolf's offense has got him back even at 2-2. If he can shut down Utley, Howard, and Worth right here, turn things back over to his offense in the 5th inning, momentum you'd figure would stay in that Dodger dugout.
Try to pitch him a little differently this time. Maybe first pitch, get me over curveball, slider away.
Or not. Strike 1.
Go right after him.
Two homers, 8 RBIs in this NLCS against Los Angeles for Ryan Howard. And here's how the Phillies scored their first runs tonight.
3-1 fastball to Ryan Howard, and again another hitter count, and he hit a low missile into the seats. His second home run in this series, and takes the curtain call.
Now, whose homer left the ballpark faster? Mark Teixeira's of the Yankees, or that one from Ryan Howard?
You mean the one in Yankee Stadium down the line that was the game winner, right?
Yes, yes.
Boy, that's a tough call right there. Top spin on Teixeira's down the line. Little top spin on that one by Howard.
Strike 3 called, and Howard knew it. So Wolf, a much more effective turn against Howard his second time up there, and he has his first strikeout of this game.
Good fastball on that outside corner. Unlike Hiroki Kuroda, who got off to the tough start last evening, couldn't really stop the tide. The veteran Wolf has been much better now after giving up those first 2 runs, settling down, and starting to go with his secondary pitches.
Wolf has been very effective on the road for the Dodgers this year. His road ERA under 3 runs a game. He finished the season in very strong fashion for Los Angeles. Might be why Joe Torre decided to start him here instead of Los Angeles in one of the first 2 games of this series.
I think there's a couple of reasons that went into the rotation being set up the way it was. When Joe Torre looked at the 4 pitchers he had available, Clayton Kershaw gets game 1. That's the least pressure of any series game. Let the kid go out there, see if he can get off on a right start. Vicente Padilla goes in game 2. Joe didn't want to start him here in this ballpark for his first start in the championship series. They rolled the dice on Kuroda. Didn't know what they were going to get. Found out they weren't going to get much. But now Randy Wolf pitches here in a ballpark he's very familiar with a chance to get the series even at 2-2.
And he's ahead of Worth with 2 strikes and 2 outs. And has retired 9 straight Phillies and has quieted this big Philadelphia crowd.
Remember now, Padilla had been a Philadelphia Philly. Didn't leave on the greatest of terms, so a nice place for him not to have to start. And, of course, Randy Wolf, who loves to pitch with a little chip on his shoulder, probably has one by having to pitch the 4th game instead of the 1st in the NLDS.
0-2 count again. And Worth has a seat. 10 men up, 10 men down. Randy Wolf is rolling merrily along. 2-2 game as we head to the 5th. The Dodgers sent 8 men to the plate in the top of the 4th inning and tied the game 2-2. Now pitcher Randy Wolf starts things off against Joe Blanton and takes a called strike. Wolf for Colin Kemp are coming up in game 4. A huge swing game for these clubs. If Los Angeles can win tonight, they will tie this series and force the series back to Los Angeles after game 5. If, however, the Phillies win tonight, they'll have a 3-1 series lead. And that just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I still love Joe Torre's line that he says, this is a really important game. Unless we lose it, then I'll give you some reasons why it's not that important a game.
He said that after game 1. We asked him before the game, do you have any pithy comments if you fall behind 3-1 in this one? And he said, no, I really don't. I really don't. But he said his club is loose. His young players aren't pressing. As that ball hit high in the air toward left, Ibanez is under it and has it for out number 1. Now it's time for a Chase game break. Let's check in again with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Chip, I'll tell you one thing. Mike Scioscia thought he had an important game this afternoon. They lost the first 2 games at Yankee Stadium. But the Angels back home this afternoon with a chance to get back into the series. And a dramatic finish it was. Jeff Mathis with a double against the wall in the bottom of the 11th. That scores Howie Kendrick And the Angels win the game, walking off with a victory by the score of 5-4. Yankees still lead that series, but the Angels are back into it. Chip.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. How about that finish out in Anaheim? And talk about consistent offense. How about the Yankees so far?
All you got to do is score more than 4, right, to beat them? They've been unbelievable.
So Rafael Furcal, the batter, he pops it out of play foul and is quickly down. No balls, 2 strikes. One other trend that we saw continue in that ball game out west, and something we've seen in the playoffs, guys, just bad base running again, almost cost Los Angeles in game 3.
Bobby Abreu getting caught rounding second, leading off the 8th with a double.
2-hop ground ball out to Chase Utley. Furcal 0 for 3 and 1 for 14 out of the leadoff spot in the series. 2 outs. And you can catch game 4 of the ALCS, the Yankees and the Angels, tomorrow. That's at 7:30 Eastern time on Fox. Joe Buck and Tim McCarver will be at the microphone out west.
I think what sometimes gets lost in the translation, when you have bad base running, you forget about the good defensive play. And Jeter threw to second base behind the base runner Abreu. Who was at the second base covering? Teixeira, who had followed the runner and was there waiting and really came up behind Abreu to surprise him.
Well, there shouldn't have been any surprise with the veteran Abreu leading off the 8th inning. You get to second base, you say, okay, we got a rally here. But watch after the relay comes in from Melky Cabrera. Jeter gets the ball, and Abreu goes way too far around the base, and he is easily caught off by Teixeira.
Fly ball, well hit center field. Victorino going back, and it's going to run out of room. Matt Kemp homers to straightaway center field, and the Dodgers have taken a 1-run lead. A deafening silence in Philadelphia as Los Angeles leads 3-2.
Well, with a term that's thrown around pretty loosely in baseball, 5-tool player. Mr. Kemp is a 5-tool player. On a night when many of these fly balls have died out in the outfield, this one carried over that center field wall.
26 homers in the regular season for the Dodgers. And that ball was elevated and hit a mile.
Again, Don Mattingly preaching to his hitters, hey, don't chase Blanton down, but you can chase him up. And that ball was up in the strike zone, and Kemp took care of it.
And Blanton's no stranger to the home run ball. He surrendered 30 of them in the regular season. So more 2-out magic for the Dodgers. Both of their 4th inning runs came with 2 outs. Kemp's solo home run, the same scenario, puts LA in front of Charlie Manuel's team here in game 4. And another liner. This one, however, caught by Chase Utley, darting to his right. Matt Kemp, a solo home run to straightaway center field, gives Los Angeles its first lead of the night. It's 3-2 heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. The first extra base hit for the Dodgers in the last 24 innings is a Matt Kemp homer. It's given Los Angeles a 3-2 lead. And aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. For the most sports in HD, call 1-800-DirecTV. 10 set up, 10 knocked down by Randy Wolf as he goes to work in the Phillies' fifth, and Raul Ibanez is greeted with a called strike. Ibanez flied to left, his first time up. And this one hit in the air to straightaway center. Kemp has plenty of room. One out.
Joe Torre was right on the Monday about Randy Wolf, as he said if Wolfie can get through the first 2 innings, he should have a pretty good ball game. And after giving up the 2-run home run to Ryan Howard in the first, he has set down the Phillies in order.
Well, the ebb and flow of this game has kind of flip-flopped, hasn't it?
Sure has.
Joe Blanton had first pitch strikes, getting ahead of the hitters, and now it's switched. Randy Wolf's been doing it the last 4 innings.
Pedro Feliz pops the first pitch up right side. Loney has plenty of room and makes the one-handed catch. And 12 in a row have been retired. The Phillies bullpen is busy with the 8th place hitter Carlos Ruiz up. Then the pitcher's spot is due. So Blanton's fate in this game may depend upon what Ruiz does here in this 5th inning. Ruiz bounced out to second. Belliard made a highlight-worthy play with a bare hand, however, and got the Philadelphia catcher easily to end the bottom of the 2nd inning. Again, a very important out for Wolf to try to get. The 8th place hitter to set up the 9 spot when the Phillies come up in the 6th.
And you fans at home were watching J Happ warm up. You were saying not throwing very hard. Where of course he's only going to get about halfway, and if Ruiz gets on base, they pinch it for Blanton, then he'll go all out to get ready to come into the inning.
2 balls and a strike.
Now you can see just kind of loosening up, and Nick Billmeyer, the bullpen coach, will just keep the reins on him and say, okay, go along with this at bat now, and if we do pinch hit, then of course you'll be in the game. You have plenty of time to ratchet it up.
Pitcher on deck, probably going to be pinch hit for. 3-1 count to Ruiz. Fastball will take a little off.
He learned his lesson from Ryan Howard, didn't he? 3-2.
Now, yeah, and Carlos Ruiz, whenever he's gotten in the hitter count and gotten the fastball, he's hammered.
To me, when I watch Ruiz, when he gets in a hitter's count, he's swinging. Really doesn't matter what the pitch is going to be.
Let's see what Wolf does with a full count now and 2 out. And it just missed outside again. Russell Martin held it there, didn't get the call. It's 2-out walk. And Blanton is going to hit for himself here in a 1-run game.
Well, nice slider, backdoor slider by Randy Wolf, not getting rewarded for his good pitching.
And he's gotten used to it. It's been consistent on both sides, and both Blanton and Wolf have thrown pitches they thought were strikes.
So Randy to the stretch for the first time since the game's first inning. He set down 12 in a row and now has the pitcher up and a 1-run lead.
Put your manager's cap on, Buck. If Ruiz would have hit an extra base hit, maybe then you would have used the pinch hitter, but since he only walked his on first, let Blanton hit.
No question about it.
That one spun away, and Wolf acknowledges that poor pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. It is very funny. A pitcher will work out of the windup, 3 innings, roll merrily along, and all of a sudden go to the stretch and looks like a totally different pitcher. We saw that happen to Blanton as well tonight.
This is, though, where you go back to the years and years and years of experience to say to yourself, 2-1, proper mechanics, throw a strike with a fastball.
That's chopped out to short for Call. Will step on the bag at second, and that retires the side. Randy Wolf is through 5 innings with a lead in Game 4, and the middle of his order is coming up next. Good ball game tonight in Game 4 in Philadelphia. Buck Martinez, Ron Darling, Craig Sager, Chip Carey with you as Manny Ramirez takes a strike as we head already to the 6th inning tonight at Citizens Bank Park. Manny Ramirez tallied the first Dodger hit of the night. That was in the 4th inning. And all 3 Dodger runs have come with 2 outs tonight.
Manny's getting close. You see the left side of the infield playing to pull. That tells me that they're going to continue to pound Manny Ramirez inside. But he had a pretty good hack at that last pitch.
Bullpen continues to work for Philadelphia on an 0-2 pitch. And that's fouled off Ramirez's foot. And he'll stay 0-2.
The one thing about great hitters is that when they are not on the top of their game, instantaneously they can have one swing and they're back at it, hot as ever. And usually, I mean, people always think it's a base hit that gets them out of a slump. It's maybe a swing, might be taking a walk on a 3-2 pitch that's close, line drive out here or there. Those are the certain things that can get a guy back to where he is. A base hit to right field for Manny is always a sign. Ground ball toward third. Feliz gives ground, has a long throw, and Howard can't handle
the scoop. So there's a break for the Dodgers. Manny Ramirez reaches to start the top of the 6th inning.
Again, a couple different times in this series, Philly errors have led to Dodgers scoring opportunities, and Manny starts things off here in ball 6. Hits it right at Pedro Feliz, but the ball is in the dirt. Ryan Howard just can't come up with the short hop, and Manny's aboard.
What makes this a tough play for Feliz is very rarely will you see a third baseman make a throw with 1 foot on the grass. They're always usually moving forward, and that closes the distance. Not able to get the ball there on the fly.
So James Loney in the batter's box with a man aboard, and immediately Blanton back to the set position. Down a run, 3-2. Loney's RBI single again in that 4th inning chased home Matt Kemp, who walked with 1 out, interrupting a stretch of 10 straight Dodger hitters retired by Joe Blanton tonight.
Doug Minkiewicz traveling with the team, although he's not active, a seasoned veteran, and for Carl asking him about his stroke.
That ball hit down the left field line, slicing away from Ibanez, but he got a good jump. And James Loney flies to left for out number 1. Now Dodgers second baseman Ronnie Belliard bats. He's flying to left and has walked. And Chad Durbin starts to warm up.
Finished the team shutout for the Phillies last night, pitching the 9th inning instead of Cliff Lee. Ronnie Belliard has really been the most versatile hitter for Joe Torre. He's batted 7th, 2nd, and now 6th, more than an RBI position for Ronnie.
Yeah, Joe's really shuffled his lineup card, Buck, in this series. We talked about Matt Kemp hitting 2nd, 4th, and 5th. Belliard, too, part of that batting order shuffle in this series. And he fists that ball into shallow left center field. That might drop. Rollins is on the run, cannot come up. Nearly a spectacular play by the Philly shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. And Belliard a blue pit, and that has the Dodgers in business with 2 on and 1 out.
Now, Jimmy Rollins knows he's the only one that's got a chance to make a play on this, so you can see he turns his back to the infield and turns all the way out into shallow left field and just over his outstretched glove for a base hit for Belliard.
What makes that play so tough for a shortstop, could have a lot of guts to make that play. You're running full bore straight at 2 outfielders running at you also. Just missed by Rollins.
But Blanton 1 ground ball away from getting out of this 6th inning. For you've got the catcher Russell Martin in the box. And the Phillies at double play depth along the infield. C. Martin ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes.
Martin hit a breaking ball for a single last time up. Apt to see a fastball here on a 1-0 count.
How about the plate discipline of the Dodgers here in the middle innings? Much different than the first 3, I guess.
Well, man, they've actually done exactly what Don Mattingly wanted them to do. Lay off the borderline strike down until you get 2 strikes when you have to protect.
And on the inside corner, 1-2.
Well, what they've done nicely tonight, the first 3 games, the Dodgers were 3 for 22 with runners in scoring position. 2 for 3 this evening.
Ramirez at second, Belliard at first with 1 out. Dodgers would love to add on a run here in the 6th. Outside corner, and Martin can't believe it.
Russell Martin's been catching those strikes all night long, and Ted Barrett's been very consistent calling a very small strike zone, and Martin said that ball's been outside all night long. Take a look at the target, and missed outside, and we have seen borderline pitches called balls all night long, and Russell Martin had a good look from the batter's box and behind the plate when he was catching.
Russell won't complain if Randy Wolf gets that call when he's on the mound, but he didn't like it at the plate. So it's 2 on, 2 out now for Casey Blake. 1 for 25 lifetime against Blanton, but all 3 Dodger runs have come with 2 outs. That's the situation here in the 6th.
You catchers always run the fine line, don't you? When you're batting and to be arguing, you have to go back out there and squat in front of Mr. Barrett at some point.
Well, that's the conversation he had. He said, that ball's been outside all night long, and you call it for strike 3?
So how long will that conversation continue once Martin puts on the gear and squats behind the dish?
As long as Ted Barrett wants it to continue. That's how it goes. There's one supreme power.
After all Russell can say is, hey, man, you know, that's been a ball all night long. That's all I want. Call them both ways.
Casey Blake, a blue pit to right field. Manny Ramirez around third. He's going to score. Jason Worth's throw is to third. And another 2-out RBI hit, this time from Casey Blake. Chase home Manny Ramirez, who reached on the Phillies' error. And the Dodgers now lead by a 4-2 score.
Casey Blake 1 for 25 against Blanton until he flares this ball down the right field line. But boy, what a timely hit for Blake against someone he has not had any success against at all. Down and away, and hits it off the end of the bat down the right field line.
Almost looked like he was going that way the entire at bat.
And the importance of that play, twofold. One, it adds another run for the Dodgers, but 2, it clears the pitcher, Randy Wolf, in this 6th inning.
But with 2 outs, Randy Wolf, we already talked about 11 RBIs during this regular season. He is a legit hitting threat.
And looks outside at ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
The choices of managers. Charlie Manuel with Ruiz on first. Chose to hit Blanton and not bring in Jay Happ. And it's cost him a run here. The Dodgers have made the best adjustments in tonight's ball game.
1 ball, 1 strike. It looks like this Dodger ball club, every time Philadelphia makes a defensive mistake, they score. They do it here in the 6th inning. Manny Ramirez reached on a Phillies throwing error. And Blake's 2-out hit chased him home for the 4th run. Blake is running, and the pitch is low and inside. Ruiz thought that was a strike. And the count is 2-2 with 2 outs.
There's a play you very rarely see by an offensive team. The pitcher up, the runner running Blake. If he's thrown out, the pitcher will lead off the next inning. Nice chance there. Push the envelope by the Dodgers.
2-2. Now Blanton steps off. High fly ball into center field is playable for Shane Victorino. The Dodgers add another 2-out run. Casey Blake's 2nd career hit against Joe Blanton chases home Manny Ramirez. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Dodgers by 2.
Years, man. The crowd gets behind you, you feed off the energy, and then wham, when something happens, it takes a little bit out of you.
You have to learn how to counterpunch on the road. That's all.
Exactly.
And the top of the Phillies order is coming up. It's Game 4 of the National League Championship Series here in Philadelphia with Ron Darling, Buck Martinez, and Craig Sager. Chip Carey with you. Dodgers leading, trying to tie this game and this series, I should say, at 2 games apiece. And Rollins takes a quick strike. Philadelphia has 2 hits in the game. They came in the first inning. Randy Wolf has allowed 1 base runner since. Grounded toward Blake at third. There's that glove work Joe Torre was talking about, and it pays dividends, retiring the Philly leadoff man.
We got a little bonus with a base hit and an
Sure
RBI
did.
as well.
And here's Shane Victorino. He's popped out twice. Once to right, once to third. Wolf set down 12 in a row after Ryan Howard's first inning home run. Wolf said he likes pitching in the cold weather. It makes him more alert. He's been very, very effective tonight.
Well, it surely doesn't affect him that much. He doesn't have any sleeves out there on the mound. Said he's pitched in colder days in Chicago and Wrigley Field many times.
Yeah, but those games were in June or July in Chicago. Here it is, October 19th in Philadelphia. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talk so much about how Joe Torre and Don Mattingly want the Dodger hitters to force the tempo of this game offensively. Seems to me, Ronnie, that Randy Wolf is dictating the tempo from the mound for Los Angeles tonight.
He is, but I think you also have to give a lot of credit to Russell Martin, because what happened early in the game is that Randy Wolf came out really trying to throw a lot of fastballs. He's changed it up now. They're using a lot more sliders, big curveballs.
And that one inside the bag, fair down the left field line. Victorino has an extra base hit. Manny Ramirez into the corner, has to chase it down. Victorino on his way to third as Manny missed the cutoff man. A 1-out triple, and all of a sudden the crowd right back in the game.
Fundamentals. This ball is ripped just inside the bag at third base. It goes all the way down into the corner. The ball dies in the corner. Manny's got to go get it. You can see how it just kicks and really comes out slowly, but he misses the cutoff. If he hits that first cutoff man for Kyle, they've got a shot at third base, but he airmails both cutoff men.
You always want to hit for a call if you can, if you're the left fielder. One of the best arms in the game.
So Chase Utley represents the tying run for the Phillies. 4-2 your score. LA will concede a run on a ground ball hit up the middle by Utley, who is 0 for 2 in the game. Snap throw to third, and that keeps Victorino honest.
Well, the big difference between the series that the Dodgers won in the NLDS, for the runners in scoring position, the opponent's batting average, the Cardinals, is 133. Here, against the Philadelphia Phillies, in this series so far, championship series, 474.
Breaking ball for a strike evens the count. This is where the Phillies are so dangerous. If Rollins or Victorino get on, then again you're in that group of 4 with 30 or more homers, starting with Chase Utley, then Ryan Howard. fastball right there for strike 2 call.
Randy Wolf is better equipped to attack the heart of the order here in the 6th inning than he was in the 1st inning because he's had touch and feel on his breaking ball. So now he knows exactly the amount of pressure to put on a breaking ball, when to back off on a changeup. So he has a lot more weapons in this situation than he did in the 1st.
He's gotten ahead of Chase Utley with a runner at 3rd and 1 out. Line drive, base hit, 1-run game. With 2 strikes, Chase Utley hangs in against a tough lefty and hit a rocket into right field.
Well, he chose to almost make up a new pitch as Randy Wolf dropped to the side, tried to throw a fastball by Chase Utley, and he was not going to have it.
He just doesn't give against left-handers. He hangs in so tough. Wolf tried to get killed from the side and left it inside where Utley could turn on it.
And now you've got to face Ryan Howard. But first a visit from Rick Honeycutt, the Dodger pitching coach. Howard tonight 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer. He took a called 3rd strike in the 4th inning, but one swing here turns this game right around in favor of the Phillies. Coming to November on TBS, Wake Up! George Lopez is bringing the party back to late night. It's Lopez tonight, weeknights at 11:10 Central, starting November 9th only on TBS. How do you go after Howard here with Utley aboard and a run in?
Well, I think you've got a little foundation on how to face these left-handed hitters from facing Chase Utley. He went with fastball. I don't think that's ever going to work against these guys. You got to alternate the fastball with the slow pitches, curveball or change.
Now let's see how the Dodgers line up their defense. They will have the infield shift on. And Casey Blake is going to go all the way over to where the second baseman would play. Remember, Blake is the Dodger 3rd baseman.
Well, they're doing this to give the double play combination the best opportunity to turn the pivot. You take Casey Blake out of the equation and leave Furcal and Belliard at their respective positions.
That's assuming Wolf can get Howard to hit the ball on the ground. And again, Ronnie, the off-speed stuff very effective with Ryan Howard.
Well, it's a pitch he's laid off on for most of the series, but a nice pitch by Wolf there to start him out with that curveball. He hasn't shown Ryan any fastball in to try to get him off that plate.
Another breaking ball stays high. A fastball was what left the yard in the 1st.
Well, middle, up. You know, we say he's better down, but when he's in a hitter's count, of course, apt to get that bat started a little earlier.
A steady diet of breaking balls in his 3rd at bat against Randy Wolf.
The thing that makes Ryan Howard so dangerous is that he only pulled 9 of his 45 home runs to the pull side of the diamond. He doesn't have to pull it to hit it out. As we saw against Padilla in Game 2, he hit a curveball away out of the ballpark in a much bigger yard in Dodger Stadium. So he doesn't have to think about being so fine to pull that pitch out of the yard.
Howard is ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike.
He's never been a guy that's pull conscious. He's hit more home runs in the opposite field than he has to his power field.
And not just here in Philadelphia with that short left field porch. He hits him a long way the other way everywhere. And he's way ahead in the count here, 3 balls and a strike. Two men on, 1 man in, 1 man out for Jason Worth. Second walk in tonight's ball game for Randy Wolf as we check in with Craig Sager.
Well, thank you, Chip. Randy Wolf on the mound having a little bit of problems right here. Rick Honeycutt went out to talk to him a second ago. Two left-handers in the history of the Dodgers organization, but the greatest one of all is here tonight, sitting in the front row, Sandy Koufax. Three-time Cy Young winner, had 4 no-hitters. I talked to him a few moments ago. I asked him what he thought of Randy Wolf's performance. He said, listen, he got in trouble early. He settled down. He's got the lead. I just think that he has to go through it and try to hold it here in the 6th inning. But Sandy Koufax, 12 years with the Dodgers, 4 no-hitters, 2-time World Series MVP, 63-65. Certainly one of the most dominating pitchers in the history of our game. Chip?
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Nice performance from Randy Wolf. He will be taken down by Joe Torre. He's got a 1-run lead, but 2 men aboard in the Phillies 6th. Dudley at second, Howard at first, Jason Worth up, and Randy Wolf gave up 2 runs in the first, then set down 12 consecutive men, held Philadelphia without a hit until the 6th inning. After that long home run by Ryan Howard and a Jimmy Rollins first inning single.
Well, after Howard got him in that first inning, nice adjustment by Randy Wolf, but he's going to need help here in the 6th. And in comes Ronald Belisario, who's pitched awfully well, but gave up 3 hits and 3 runs in yesterday's ball game.
Well, one thing that was positive for him was he got Jason Worth to ground out to end the inning. And that's the first batter he's going to face.
And that's what managers love to see, huh, Buck? 0 for 8 of the Phillies hitters against the first batter faced by these Dodger pensmen. Here's Jason Worth, first and second, 1 out.
And Belisario's in not only because he throws awfully hard, but he has good sinking action on his fastball, an opportunity for the Dodgers to turn 2.
I wouldn't be so focused on Chase Utley as I would be on Jason Worth.
Good time to have blinders.
Belisario was very busy in the regular season for Los Angeles. 69 appearances, 4th most by a Dodger rookie in the history of the franchise. How do you get Jason Worth if you're Belisario?
I can see by the hit chart that he can hit balls to all fields. But in RBI situations, we've seen Worth many, many times try to shoot that ball to right field if you're going to pitch him away.
Broken back. Blake's got it. One there, ball dropped. And they'll say on the transfer, Howard is out at second. And instead of a double play, all the Dodgers can get is 1 out. Utley's at third, Worth is at first with 2 down.
It's exactly what Belisario was hoping for, and Casey Blake gave Belliard a terrific feed right on the money. The bat shatters, ground ball to third, and look at the feed from Casey Blake right to Ronnie Belliard, but the ball comes out of his glove. He was taking the ball out, dropped it. That had a chance to be the inning-ending double play they were looking for.
But they do get one. It is the second out, and Belisario will get a pat on the back. He absolutely shattered the bat of Jason Worth. And Joe Torre is back in his bullpen, protecting a 4-3 lead with a tying run 90 feet away and 2 men out. Citizens Bank Park. And Major League Baseball's reviving baseball in inner cities has given its 1 million plus participants a chance to play, learn, and grow. For more information, visit MLB.com/RBI.
Well, Hung-Chi Kuo has been probably the most outstanding reliever other than Jonathan Broxton for these LA Dodgers. 7 strikeouts and 5 2/3 innings of work. And of course, in that Friday afternoon game in Los Angeles, picked up the win. He is in here because Joe Torre is hoping that Ibanez cannot put this ball in play. Kuo can come in and get a strikeout.
Yeah, this is the 3rd appearance for Kuo in this series. He pitched in Game 1, came in the 7th inning. Struck out 2 batters, gave up a single to Jimmy Rollins, but nothing more. And then in Game 2, got a big double play off the bat of Ben Francisco to end the 8th inning, and now he's on to face Raul Ibanez, who is hard charging on the first pitch. You can bet on that.
Ibanez handles lefties very well despite his 0 for 2 night against Randy Wolf this evening. Ibanez this year hit 13 of his 34 homers against southpaws and hit .285 against them. So it's a percentage play for Joe Torre, but one that Charlie Manuel doesn't necessarily mind.
And Ibanez's home run in this series came against George Sherrill, the left-hander for the Dodgers.
So 4-3 Los Angeles. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. And a line drive left field. Manny is there. He caught it. Manny Ramirez somehow got there and caught that sinking line drive to retire the side. How close? Pretty close. 4-3 game. Now the top of the Dodger order up in the 7th against Chan-Ho Park. Who jumps ahead for call with a strike.
Well, we saw Hung-Chi Kuo come in. He got the win in that Friday game. Chan-Ho Park got the loss.
A squibber back to the mound. Park, an easy play. One man down, and Manny had it all the way, huh, Buck?
No problem. First pitch swinging. Raul Ibanez hits a bullet headed toward left field. First and third, 2 outs, and here comes Manny. A shoe-top catch to rob Ibanez of an RBI base hit. Boy, that ball gets by him. They're running for days, but he had it all the way.
Well, the thing about that play is that Dodger Stadium, Manny plays a little deeper. It's a bigger ballpark. Here plays a little shallower. He's able to come in and make that play.
Almost like playing at Fenway Park.
Matt Kemp, the hitter. And Kemp in the 5th inning hit a 2-out homer. The first extra base hit in 24 innings for the Dodgers during this 2009 LCS. And that put Los Angeles in front by a 3-2 score. They lead 4-3 now, trying to even up the series. Kemp was the first Dodger base runner to reach in this game. Joe Blanton started by retiring the first 10 men he faced. The only question on the Kemp homer was, could the flying Hawaiian Shane Victorino come up with a spectacular catch at the fence?
Boy, this was a majestic home run off the bat of Matt Kemp. Good try by Shane. But in a night when the ball is not really traveling unless you hit it on the line, majestic shot by Kemp.
And Chan-Ho Park blows it right on by under the hands. 2 outs.
But the bullpen's active now. It's almost, this was a 1970s ACC basketball game. It's almost like the Dodgers are playing a 4 corners offense, trying to let the clock run out at some point.
But they find themselves where they want to be. Absolutely. In the Philadelphia bullpen with a lead.
Philadelphia bullpen, but more importantly, late in the game with their bullpen, or later in the game with their bullpen.
No balls and a strike to Andre Ethier, who is 0 for 3. Chan-Ho Park pitching very effectively again in this series tonight. And that pitch evens the count. Wind very lightly blowing toward right center field. A cool, crisp night, much more comfortable than last night, Game 3.
I'll tell you, Ethier has nothing to show for it tonight, but he looks locked in. A bullet to center field, a bullet to Utley in his last 2 at-bats.
And it just took the at-bats against Joe Blanton to get him back in a groove, a guy that he's hit well in the past. And what you said about just an at-bat here or there would get you right on track. And when you think about it, players are their best coaches. When they take a swing, they can say, okay, that's it.
So now full count with Manny Ramirez on deck. Lower portion of the Phillies order is due in the 7th. Just missed. Park thought it was a strike. Jimmy Rollins thought it was a strike. But Ted Barrett said it wasn't.
That was a good call. That was a good call by Ted Barrett. That ball is the one that comes back. I don't think it came back enough. On the pitch tracks that we have, though, it differs with my call and Ted Barrett's call.
Again, pitch tracks is a close approximation of the strike zone.
I'm with you, Ted, on that one.
Here's Manny Ramirez.
He's the only pitcher in the ballpark that agreed with him all night long.
They're going to throw him out of the union, let me tell you.
He is ex-old pitcher.
I see. Nice night for Manny. He scored a couple of runs. It was the error on Pedro Feliz leading off the 6th inning that allowed Manny to reach. And he was chased home by a Casey Blake blue pit to right that scored the 4th run of the night for Los Angeles. Again, they are crowding him with regularity inside.
Nothing straight in there either, Buck. They are running that ball inside, starting it on the plate, and it's ending up a ball.
White towels are waving with Manny Ramirez in an 0-2 hole. That's what the Dodgers want Manny to do.
Yeah, take that borderline pitch inside, even though he's sitting with 2 strikes. He's got a good eye, but he has just chased that pitch that's questionably inside. He just keeps swinging at it. Got to force them back out over the plate. That's when he becomes most dangerous.
Because if you take some of those pitches, the pitcher has to center that ball a little more, and that's when he'll be able to catch up with it.
See that sign from Ruiz, the thumb up, that's throw to first base. Many years ago, that was flip the batter.
That's right.
But that's not part of the game anymore.
I always get nervous when I see that sign.
I wonder, with all those white towels waving, if Ryan Howard had trouble picking up that throw from Chan-Ho Park. He looked handcuffed a little bit. At first base. Runner goes, and the pitch high. The throw to second is on target. And in time to retire Ethier as Ruiz continues his fine work behind the plate. But Manny Ramirez will lead off the Dodger 8th. First things first, bottom of the 7th inning. Los Angeles ahead by a run. We are back at Citizens Bank Park for Game 4 of our National League Championship Series with Buck Martinez and Ron Darling. I'm Chip Carey. Welcome back in our TBS booth tonight, guys. We talked in the open about the importance of the Dodger offense coming to life and the importance of the Dodgers getting their starting pitching straightened out in tonight's Game 4. I guess you could say both of those things have happened so far.
Well, I think it's been great to watch Randy Wolf, who got off to that slow start, giving up that two-home run, but the veteran that he is in this ballpark that he opened, coming back and making some great pitches, mixing more of his changeups, sliders, and curveballs in there. He did a fantastic job.
Well, he sure did, Ron. And Joe Torre took some heat for not starting Randy Wolf in Game 1, but he was able now to put him in position to even the series at 2 games apiece, knowing full well that Randy Wolf would be very comfortable with this hostile crowd here at Citizens Bank Park.
And that hostile crowd is the subject of our next TBS Inside Tracks. A deafening silence when the Dodgers took a lead tonight.
I saw it in Cleveland a lot of years, man. The crowd gets behind you, you feed off the energy, and then wham, when something happens, it takes a little bit out of you.
You have to learn how to counterpunch on the road. That's all.
Exactly.
That's Jim Thome and Doug Minkiewicz talking about that silence here in Philadelphia after Matt Kemp hit that long home run to center field. And now Philadelphia up with the 7, 8, 9 spots against Mr. Quo, who will try to work his first full inning. Remember, the pitcher spot is due 3rd here for the Phillies in the 7th. Pedro Feliz is 0 for 2 in the game, just 1 for 12 in this series.
Lost the grip on the breaking ball, got around it, and he's fortunate it sailed way out of the strike zone and didn't hang over the plate.
Feliz and Ruiz, right-hand hitters. Then Chan-Ho Park is due. And you know the Philadelphia bench, very strong from the left side with Greg Dobbs and Matt Stairs.
And Ben Francisco has been a nice addition, too, from Cleveland. So a nice, strong bench for this Philadelphia Phillies team.
And Feliz had a good cut at 94 miles an hour from Hung-Chi Kuo. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The Dodgers, though, they counter Matt Stairs with their own version of the slammer and Jim Thome himself.
How about that swing? And how about that pitch? Whoa, takes care of his second Philly in a row out of the bullpen. Good start here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
After getting around the breaking ball earlier in the bat, he gets on top of this and watch this thing disappear out over the plate, and then it breaks down over that back foot, and Feliz takes a funky swing at it.
Well, he just throws so hard. He just threw a fastball right by Feliz. You have to be cognizant that it's coming again, and he fools him with the slider.
Here's Ruiz. He was robbed of a hit by Belliard at second base, ending the 2nd, walked in the 5th. And how about this contrast between the finesse of Wolf and the power of Belisario and Quo out of the Dodger pen late?
Well, the Dodgers are loaded with hard throwers down in that bullpen, and boy, it can really shorten the game for you.
And another awkward swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. There is Ben Francisco. He would bat for Chan-Ho Park.
In a perfect world for Joe Torre and the Dodgers, he's going to get 5 more outs because 3 of them are going to be taken care of if he had the same score by Jonathan Broxton in the 9th.
But the key inning could be the 8th. Rollins, Victorino, Utley, Howard. That's why you'd like, if you're a Dodger fan, a nice easy 7th. And a chopper up the middle for call to his left. Fires to first, and a good stretch by James Loney. 2 out.
They made Ruiz hit a breaking ball there. They're tired of seeing him jump all over fastballs. And Quo's able to get the breaking ball and the ground ball. Furcal's got that strong arm. He's able to throw it from deep behind the bag at second to get Ruiz.
When you have that kind of arm also, you're able to take a different angle at that baseball. Make sure you get it on that big hop. gets Ruiz at first.
And how about Furcal not having a very good series at the plate, but he's part of a Dodger club that has not committed an error in their last 90 innings, and that includes the postseason. So he takes care of Ruiz. 3 hitters in a row retired by Quo, and now Francisco, the final hope in the 7th for Philadelphia, which trails 4-3. Madsen will come on for the 8th inning and face Ramirez, Loney, and Belliard for Los Angeles.
When you throw hard like Quo, it forces the batter to try to get the barrel out. You can see he can't catch up to the fastball. Now Francisco becomes vulnerable to that slider.
That's up and in. Jimmy Rollins is in the on-deck circle. If Francisco can reach, Rollins would hit here in the Philly 7th. High fly ball to left, but he got under it. Manny has room. He's got it. And Hong-Chi Quo has faced 4 Philly hitters, and he's set them all down. We go to inning number 8 in game number 4. Presented by Budweiser. Chip, Buck, and Ron with you tonight from Citizens Bank Park. Craig Sager along for the ride here in Game 4 as well. And a super ball game. 4-3 Los Angeles in front, trying to even things up. And now Manny Ramirez, remember, in the batter's box when Andre Ethier was thrown out trying to steal in the 7th inning, will lead things off against Ryan Madsen.
Madsen pitched in that Friday game. One of those 5 pitchers Charlie Manuel used in that 8th inning. Walked the batter and struck out a batter in his 3rd of an inning of work. Well, the Phillies bullpen has struggled even in the postseason. First batters faced, they're 5 for 10 with 3 bases on balls.
And another run for the Dodgers would really come in handy. A 1-run lead in the final 2 innings in this homer-friendly ballpark is not much of a margin. No matter how good your bullpen can or has been. No balls and a strike to Manny Ramirez, who scored twice tonight. Ripped out of play, 0-2.
That was very interesting watching that pitch. Cut strike 1 on the fastball in. Ruiz threw a sign down for the sinker in. Madsen shook it off. Ruiz, no, sinker in. Would not let him shake him off. And part of the maturation of Ruiz.
Yeah, and he still got away with a mistake because he left it out over the plate, and Manny had a pretty good hack at it. But Ruiz truly feels like he's the leader of this pitching staff now, and he will call for a pitch when he knows it's the right pitch in the situation.
0-2. And Manny doesn't argue. Sinking fastball retires him on 3 pitches. 1 out in the Dodger 8th.
Well, sometimes when a batter's struggling, you can just stay with 1 pitch. First one, a called strike on the inside corner. Second one, Manny fouls off with a good cut, and this one down and in. Almost a perfect pitch. Manny retired.
So a good start for Madsen in the top of the 8th inning. Here's James Loney. Loney plated the first Los Angeles run with a 2-out 4th inning hit. His 2nd RBI of this National League Championship Series. Madsen's a big kid, 6'6", 202 pounds, born in Long Beach, lives in Moreno Valley, California. A 9th-round Philadelphia draft choice in 1998. And the ball popped up left side out of play when Brad Lidge was in the throes of a very rough regular season. It was Ryan Madsen who got the most save opportunities for Brad Lidge, and he converted 10 of them.
Yeah, Charlie Manuel did a pretty good job at the end of the season trying to get over Brad Lidge's problems. Lidge was 0-8 with 11 blown saves. That's well documented, but Charlie Manuel announced a bullpen by committee, and that committee included Brad Lidge, who worked his way back to form.
Fly ball slicing down the left field line, and Ibanez won't have to play.
Ad hoc committee assembled very quickly. Lidge last year 41 for 41 during the regular season, 7 for 7 in the postseason, 10 for 10 in the 2 postseasons with the Phillies.
And off to a good start in this postseason for Philadelphia. Lidge feels as if he's back to his 2008 form. We'll see if that continues. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Full count.
The bullpen's a long way from home plate, and the relievers that have come into this game anticipate those pitches being strikes. They haven't been strikes all night.
You can watch the game or you can observe the game, as Sandy Alomar Sr. has told us many a time. Now Madsen steps off.
Three-two changeup there from Madsen. The respect that he has for Loney's ability to turn on the fastball.
They're uptight.
Nothing changes in the Dodger dugout.
Well, Joe Torre, with no reference to the who, told us the kids are all right in that Dodger dugout.
I think they really like that Loney defensive swing. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And he fought off another tough pitch.
Pedro Martinez in the other dugout across the diamond. Of course, Manny played with Pedro in Boston. Well, he's probably in the brunt of some of Pedro's jabs. What kind of swing was that, Manny?
3 balls, 2 strikes, bases clear. And lined up the middle, 3 hops. Utley can't handle cleanly. And Loney is aboard with 1 man out. Very nice at bat from James Loney.
Well, the tougher the pitcher, more apt you are to go right up the middle. Really no chance for Utley, even if I think he comes up with this play cleanly. No chance to get Loney at first base.
Infield hit for the Dodger first baseman is their 7th hit of the game. And now Ronnie Belliard, the batter, has been on twice, once with a walk, once with a 6th inning single.
Well, a long look down at Larry Bowa at third base makes you think at least that Bowa went through an extensive series of signs. Maybe they start the runner.
Short lead doesn't go, and the pitch is missed by Belliard. 0-2.
Oh, just great movement by Ryan Matson on his delivery and pitches.
Chop toward Rollins at short. He will get 1 at second. Utley hung in there nicely. Loney a hard slide. Second out. Belliard at first now for Russell Martin. Slow developing play. No chance for the Phillies to get 2 here.
No, but at least by getting the lead runner, you keep him from scoring position. You can see Utley no intention at all to make a relay throw. Just getting that lead runner and erasing James Loney from second base.
So Belliard at first with 2 outs now. And Russell Martin in the batter's box. Martin had a 2-out hit in the 4th inning and drove home his 2nd run of the series. Phillies bullpen is busy. A left-hander is up and throwing. Scott Air is up. Dodgers pen is busy too. There's Scott Air. And George Sherrill loosens for Los Angeles. And he will have the top of the Phillies order in the bottom of this 8th inning. Snap throw to first, and back safely is Belliard.
He's very active behind the plate. Strong arm throwing with a lot of confidence right now. He got Andre Ethier back in the 7th inning to end that inning. Threw a seed right on the money to Chase Utley.
Two-oh count. Belliard runs. The pitch is a ball. The throw to second hits the runner. And Utley couldn't get the tag in time to stop Ronnie Belliard from swiping second base. Boy, ball and base runner arrived at the same time at second.
That ball didn't go over Ryan Matson's head by very much, and that's the first time we've really seen Ruiz rush his throw to second. It made a very poor throw. I don't know how Utley caught that ball behind the back of Belliard.
Well, Utley thought he had a chance at the runner Belliard because Belliard slid right into his right knee. He even tore his pants in the process.
And I thought the ball hit him in the back. It didn't. It just went right behind him. And you're right, Buck. Super play by Utley just to catch this ball.
And watch the tag. Utley actually tags Belliard before he got to the base.
Looked like he was out.
Slide into the knee. And right call by Utley. He had him at second base, that foot in the air.
And that's a huge play if Martin tallies a hit here. And Belliard comes around to score.
Watch the right foot go up against the knee of Utley. It stops him. He lands on his right foot, Utley's right foot, and then the tag is already applied.
He was out, called safe, and now Martin walks. 2 on, 2 out. So big break for the Dodgers. Belliard with only 3 regular season steals gets one in the 8th inning. Martin follows with a walk. And Casey Blake stands in again.
Well, here's the good news, bad news for Casey Blake. If he delivers another 2-out RBI, put the Dodgers up by a couple, but might put him in that 8th slot forever.
Well, it's worked for Ruiz in this series. Maybe the magic will work for Casey Blake. All the Dodger runs tonight with 2 outs. And Jim Thome is in the on-deck circle. That's why air is loosening in the Phillies pen. And Blake down a quick strike.
Good fastball, really tied up Blake. Other part of the plate.
Nice play by Ruiz to keep that ball in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. An infield hit, a forced play, a stolen base, and a walk has kept this 8th alive for Los Angeles. And a huge run in scoring position potentially in this 8th inning. Russell Martin at first, 2 outs. Chased a high fastball. And Madsen blows away Casey Blake. Dodgers strand 2 in the top of the 8th. Top of the Phillies order coming up in a 1-run game late. It's a 4-3 game. Top of the Phillies order coming up here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. For the most sports in HD, call 1-800-DirecTV. Approaching 11 o'clock Eastern time here in Philadelphia. Buck Martinez, Ron Darling, Craig Sager, Chip Carey. Dodgers with a 1-run lead, and George Sherrill is into the ball game for Jimmy Rollins, Shane Victorino, and Chase Utley.
Well, maybe the most important 3 outs for the Dodgers season here for Mr. Sherrill, trying to make a comeback appearance in his last couple of walks. And, of course, that 3-run home run to Raul Ibanez, facing the top of this difficult Philadelphia Phillies batting order.
Well, the first 2 batters he faced, and it set up Raul Ibanez, who looked for a breaking ball and got a spinner from George Sherrill. No bite, and Ibanez hit a 3-run home run. At that point, the Phillies had a 1-run lead that expanded it to a 4-run lead in the 8th.
And a strike to Jimmy Rollins, who singled in the first and came home on Ryan Howard's 2-run homer. He has since flagged to right and grounded to third. So a 1-for-3 game for Rollins. And 3 for 17 so far in this series.
I like how George described that home run pitch he gave up to Ibanez. That curveball, he called it a cement mixer. It's spinning, but stationary.
Rollins checked his swing. 2 balls and a strike.
That's a better breaking ball than he threw to Ibanez. It had more bite, and Sherrill's been dealing with some mechanical issues, but this ball breaks down and in, but Rollins was able to lay off of it.
Sherrill threw scoreless relief in 28 of his 30 outings since joining the Dodgers. Held left-hand hitters to a 128 average. Rollins and Victorino switch hit, but you've got Utley and Howard lurking, and now Sherrill way behind in the count. 3 balls and a strike. It was walks and then a bomb that cost him in game 1.
Good pitch there by Sherrill. 3-1 fastball down in the strike zone.
Ground ball. Blake smothers and throws him out. What a play by Casey Blake, who was kept in the lineup primarily for his defense tonight by Joe Torre.
And you can see Blake is not really hugging the line, just kind of playing it straight away. Goes to his left and from a knee, gloves the ball, then pops up and throws a strike across the diamond. Boy, that's a big first out.
Well, we're talking about a young man who just struck out with a couple runners on base against Madsen. Does not take that at bat out to the defensive side. You can win a game defensively also.
Victorino tripled and scored in the 6th to make it a 1-run game. Jonathan Broxton is up and throwing in the Dodger pen should Sherrill have any 8th inning trouble.
Broxton can always be asked for some yeoman work. Regular season this year, he had 4 saves of the inning and a third, 2 saves, inning and 2/3.
That time, Victorino went around 1-2.
Good call.
Good call by Tommy Hallion.
Yep. Got it out in front.
Sherrill throwing a little harder tonight, too, than he did in the first game in Los Angeles.
Well, he's got better mechanics. He's staying back over the rubber now, and that allows his hand to get through his delivery. He was drifting toward home plate in that first appearance.
Popped up over the Phillies dugout foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oftentimes when a pitcher moves his top half toward home plate, he will carry his arm with him and the ball will drag and it won't come out. Plus that'll rob you of the break on your breaking ball, so he's staying back over the rubber before he goes toward the pitcher and leading with his hand.
You're right, Buck. That arm is always late.
Victorino trying to get this crowd back in this ball game, trying to get his Phillies back in it too. It's been very, very quiet the last couple of innings at Citizens Bank Park. As Belisario, Quo, and now Sherrill working very effectively in relief of Randy Wolf. And Victorino is hit by a pitch. He'll hobble to first. And he represents the tying run.
Well, he went to the breaking ball down and in. Just kept chasing Victorino and hit off that back right foot.
Well, you always hear pitchers talk about that back foot breaking ball, and that takes it too far.
And now you've got Utley, Howard, and Worth to contend with, and all that power. That's what helped Philadelphia to the 3rd highest total of comeback wins in baseball in the regular season. The Phillies trail only the Yankees and the Angels with 43 comeback wins. Those 43, one more than the Dodgers for the National League high. And Sherrill almost threw that ball past James Loaning.
This Phillies lineup goes when they get Rollins and Victorino on, and you can bet Victorino is trying to work for a big lead over there, and Sherrill's aware of that, trying to keep him close.
You saw him a lot in Baltimore. How does he hold runners?
Very average. He doesn't do anything special. Good slide step there. He unloaded in a hurry.
Almost like a quick pitch there to get strike one.
Got to make sure he comes to a stop.
Utley had an RBI hit in the 6th. He chased home Victorino from 3rd. Shane now at 1st with 1 out.
If Utley gets on, you're going to see Jonathan Broxton. Even though Sherrill's left-handed for the left-handed hitting Howard. Broxton's got the weapons to neutralize Howard.
Two balls and a strike. And now Rafael for call. Out to the mound. There's Howard. His blistering pace in this postseason continued in the 1st inning.
Good at bat for Utley against the left-handed pitcher, taking close pitches.
You can watch a player since you acquired him on July 30th. You watch him during the regular season. You can put him in situations he's been all year. But this is an entirely different atmosphere here at Citizens Bank Park.
And a different atmosphere just 2 hitters after Rollins grounded out. Runner at first, 1 out, 3-1 count to Utley. Utley swung, ball gets away from Martin, and Victorino moves up 90 feet. Three balls, two strikes. How about that break for Philadelphia?
Well, tough play for the catcher here, Martin. A 3-1 pitch. You figure that slider is going to be closer. Tried to get in front of it, Buck. Didn't get out there all the way.
No, he didn't shift far enough to his left. He was lucky it hit off his shin guard, or else it goes all the way back to the screen, and no telling where Victorino ends up.
And he's at second now with a full count to Utley. A hit means a run. Victorino can fly. And now a hit batsman and a walk. And a decision time for Joe Torre.
Doesn't look like he's made up his mind just yet. Normally he walks out to make a pitching change. He's got the big guy ready. Boy, showing a lot of confidence in George Sherrill. Ryan Howard is 0 for 10 against Jonathan Broxton.
And Howard has been as hot as anybody in this postseason.
Well, today's ball game on that 3-1 count. Line drive home run to right field for a couple RBIs. And boy, the decisions that Joe Torre has had to make with left-handed pitchers remaining in the game. Kershaw in the first game. Sherrill here in game number 4.
2 on, 1 out for Ryan Howard. Modified shift for the Dodger defense. And a steady diet of breaking balls on the first pitch for Ryan Howard has him behind in the count.
He wasn't fooled, though.
No, he had a pretty good hack there. It looked like it was a little bit higher than Sherrill wanted.
Woof. 0-2. Ryan Howard this year hit .207 against left-handed pitchers. He's in a 2-strike hole with Jason Worth in the on-deck circle. 4-3 Los Angeles, an 8th-inning lead in Game 4.
Obviously, when Torre went to the mound, they discussed the strategy of how he wanted Sherrill to work, and now Russell Martin just goes back out to reaffirm that.
Boy, you'd love to have the guts and the will to throw one fastball upstairs here to Ryan Howard, way out of the strike zone. If he doesn't swing at it, then you can go back with a breaking ball. 4 in a row is always a tough call for any pitcher.
There's the high fastball, and Sherrill got it right by Ryan Howard for a big second out.
What a job by George Sherrill, as he absolutely threw perfect pitches to Ryan Howard and cools him off. Breaking ball for strike 1. Fouled off and high breaking ball, missed away with a breaking ball, then it elevates it exactly how you attack Ryan Howard.
Well, nice pitching there by George Sherrill. Takes a lot of guts. Throw a fastball up in the strike zone. If you miss with that pitch, it might be 3 runs. He did not, and Broxton will be in.
So Sherrill departs with runners first and second. Now 2 outs, a walk, a strikeout, a hit batsman, and a wild pitch. But the lead still in the Dodgers' favor, 4-3. resume Wednesday night on TBS. Our coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern with TBS MLB on deck. Will it be a 3-1 Phillies series lead, or can Los Angeles hang on tonight, get 4 more outs with the lead, and tie up the series 2-2? Orlando Hudson checks in defensively. He'll play second base and bat ninth. Jonathan Broxton is on for Jason Worth with the game on the base paths for Philadelphia.
Well, 36 saves on the season to go along with 7 wins, and over the past 2 postseasons, 3 for 3 in save opportunities with 12 strikeouts in 10 games.
You've got to give George Sherrill an awful lot of credit for really making some quality pitches to Ryan Howard, and the final one was in the perfect spot, up and in.
We have to mention these stats of Broxton this year. Regular season, he was almost unbeatable at home with a .40 ERA, where he struggled at all. As you see those numbers on the road, very pedestrian.
Here's Worth. He's 0 for 3. And way outside from Broxton, who's got as big a fastball as any pitcher or relief pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Well, you can hear the grunt and determination of Broxton up here.
That is not a pedestrian grunt, is it?
No.
1 ball, no strikes. And look at the way Chase Utley is getting his lead from first base. Loney well behind him, obviously, with a man at second. Chase in a squared up stance, ready to run if Worth can put the ball in play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Perfect pitch, 99 miles an hour, down and away. Jason Worth has been terrific hitting in these situations. He got a big hit in Colorado to put the Phillies ahead in the 9th inning. 50 RBIs with 2 strikes. He shortens up, and boy, you've got to shorten up against Broxton.
And just to be sure, Russell Martin out to talk it over. Broxton with a couple of 99-mile-an-hour pitches has Worth in a 1-2 count.
What's the strategy here? You're going to throw him anything but fastball?
I don't think if you're throwing 99 miles an hour, if you're Russell Martin, you feel the pop of the glove. But you can open up the strike zone. It's 1 and 2. Take a shot at 1 4 inches outside if you want.
Outfield straightaway deep for Worth. That one at 101.
Got a piece of it. The thing about Worth, he's changed his approach at the plate a bit to allow him to get to that fastball. He's more upright, and he's dropped his hands right in front of his chest. And he feels like he doesn't really have to get that bat going. He can just kind of go from a much more relaxed position and has a chance to catch up to good fastballs.
Up means fastball. Very nice to throw off Victorino at second base, and myself up here in the booth. The fake with the up sign by Martin, that usually means a fastball from his pitcher. Counters with the slider.
Anytime you have a base runner, as long as Victorino has been at second base, he can pick up location and relay it to the hitter. I don't know if I want to know location if I'm hitting against Broxton.
Not at 100 miles an hour.
Good battle with Worth and Broxton in the Phillies' 8th. Runners go. Driven high in the air toward right, but it's playable. Ethier is under it, and Broxton and Sherrill get through this vaunted Philly lineup in the bottom of the 8th inning. What a job by the Dodger bullpen in a 4-3 game. Don't miss Ray Romano in the series premiere December 7th at 10, 9 Central only on TNT. Good ball game tonight in Game 4. Dodgers have gotten outstanding work out of their relief corps tonight. Belisario, Quo, Sherrill, and Broxton have not allowed a hit to the Phillies. In relief of Randy Wolf, and now Scott Eyre is on for the top of the 9th inning. An inning that will start with Orlando Hudson in that flip-flop batting order leading things off.
There in Game 2 allowed that hit to Jim Thome in that game. One of the 5 relievers used in that 8th inning.
Eyre has really pitched some very important innings already in this 2009 postseason for the Phillies, and he's not 100%.
He's had experiencing a little bit of elbow problems right now, but what a career he's had. Over 600 major league games for Scott Eyre. If you want to think of a bunt in this situation, you'd like to push this towards Howard. The left-handed pitcher always tends to fall towards the third base side, and it's a little tougher for the veteran left-hander.
No sign of it from Hudson as he's ahead in the count now. 2 balls, no strikes. Hudson for Call and Kemp in the 9th. Phillies bullpen continues to work. This game in the hands of Broxton for the Dodgers when we go to the bottom half of the inning.
If you're the manager, Buck, you want your leadoff hitter here trying to play for a run. Take a strike.
Absolutely. There's so many things you can do once you get that leadoff hitter on base. Torrey looks like he's a little bit confused by that swing.
Now it's 3 balls and a strike.
Nothing exists in a vacuum. You're talking about a proud athlete that lost his job at second base at the most important time of the season, and sometimes trying to do too much to get back in that lineup. Got a chance here, though.
Popped up a mile high to right on a 3-1 count. Utley gives chase. Worth is there and in. Foul ground makes the grab. Good play by Jason Worth. 1 out.
Outfielders always have priority when they're coming toward the infield because they've got the full head of steam. You can see the 2 infielders peeling off, giving way to Jason Worth.
You know what's interesting about that is there's kind of like a line of who's got authority on that baseball. It goes Worth to Utley to Howard. Howard being the last that you want to catch that baseball with the angle he's going at.
So good communication, good result for the Phillies as Rafael Furcal is in the box. He's 1 for 15 so far in this series, and Air jumps ahead of him with a strike. Furcal flying out to center in the first has hit the ball on the infield in his next 3 at bats tonight. And nowhere near has Furcal ahead now. 2 balls and a strike. If he can get on, Furcal can run. And an insurance run against Charlie Manuel's club in this ballpark would be very well received by Joe Torre.
Went after a bad pitch outside, a little changeup, a little turn me over changeup with movement down and away.
Well, you don't pitch over 600 games unless you have a bag of tricks. And Scott here does on that 2-1 pitch to Rafael Furcal.
That danced around the plate. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here, the 3rd Phillies reliever to work tonight. Behind Chan-Ho Park and Ryan Madsen, Joe Blanton started, gave up 4 runs, only 3 of them earned. The Pedro Feliz error in the 6th, looming large so far tonight. And a line drive in a right center field. Victorino will cut that off. And Furcal, a big turnaround first, will put on the brakes. A 1-out single for Furcal here in the top of the 9th inning. So Matt Kemp will hit Charlie Manuel a decision. Buck, I beg your pardon?
Yeah, he's got Brad Lidge ready, and this is what you do in this situation. Bring in your closer. You're at home. You're in the top of the 9th. It's a 1-run game. Try to keep it there so you have a shot in the bottom half of the inning.
Brad Lidge coming out of the Philadelphia bullpen to face Matt Kemp in a 1-run game. 4-3 here in Philadelphia. We invite you to stay tuned for Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan. Ernie, Cal Ripken, Dennis Eckersley, and David Wells will bring you all the highlights from tonight's Game 4 at Citizens Bank Park, and we'll get post-game reaction for you as the Dodgers try to even up the series at 2 games apiece. And they'll try to tack on an insurance run as Brad Lidge completes his 9th inning warm-ups. He'll face Matt Kemp with Rafael Furcal aboard and 1 man out.
Well, usually asked to save ball games for this Philadelphia Phillies team in the postseason. This is to try to keep it a 1-run game. Lidge's numbers, you can see, after a difficult season this season, as good as it was in 08, was how difficult it was for Brad this past season, but he's been outstanding in the postseason.
3 for 3 in save opportunities, including a save in Game 1 of this series. So Charlie Manuel, knowing that he got a chance to get out of this inning and keep it a 1-run ball game. Dodgers up 4-3. And look at the order for the Phillies in the bottom of the 9th. It's Ibanez, Feliz, and Ruiz.
And there are the dramatically different numbers for Lidge between his 2008 and 2009 season. Look, Ronnie, you know, you mentioned 48 for 48 was Lidge, counting the postseason last year. For a closer, there's nowhere to go but down from that. You're not going to be perfect again. And Lidge would be the first to tell you he wasn't this year.
Didn't have to go that far down, though.
No,
right?
no, that's true. But mechanical problems and knee problems certainly didn't help Lidge's cause. And Matt Kemp would love to chase around Rafael Furcal, who stole 12 bags in the regular season and stands at first here in his 9th inning.
Well, Charlie Manuel has said that Brad Lidge is one of those guys. He wants to feel 100% healthy. He wants to have his mechanics 100%, and those certainly weren't in order all season long. And like most closers who always tell you that they have a short memory and never remember the last outing, I always believe they're lying. They carry it on their shoulder like a burden. And it's a good thing sometimes. You use it. I know our mate who's going to do the post game, Dennis Eckersley, would use that as strength in the next game.
And high and tight to Matt Kemp. Good velocity from Brad Lidge. Dodgers with 2 stolen bases in tonight's ball game. This is their first 2 steals of this championship series. One of them by Blake, one of them by Ronnie Belliard. And Furcal, as we said, 12 for 18 in the regular season. We've seen Ruiz throw very well. See if the Dodgers put Furcal in play here in the 9th. And a nice scoop by Ryan Howard saved a Lidge throwing error.
Yeah, you can run on Brad Lidge. He's deliberate once he makes his move to the plate. Base stealers are 11 for 12. Larry Boa will give Furcal a green light, give him the opportunity to get out there and work for a lead. Plus the fact that Lidge will throw that slider and bounce it an awful lot.
Not going. And inside. Kemp struck the big blow for Los Angeles with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
Well, Blanton was supposed to have a fastball down and away, got it up and over the middle of the plate. And Kemp now 2 big home runs in the postseason. One against Blanton, one against Carpenter.
Two balls and a strike. Furcal starts, then stops, and Kemp fouls it away to even the count.
Well, Lidge, if you have him on the stopwatch, 1.44 to home plate. Anything over 3.54 at 1.4, you can go. You gotta anticipate a slider here from Lidge with the 2-2 count to Kemp too.
I'm surprised Furcal hasn't run yet.
Another half step on the lead. Not going. And Kemp fouls that ball off his foot.
They hit him on the kneecap. That ball inside, right in on his fist, and all he could do was foul it straight down into his leg.
Yeah, from the knee to the foot. Got the knee first. Cold night, and it's gotten colder. There's Randy Wolf, the starter tonight. 4 hits and 5 1/3. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner goes. And out of play, foul.
One thing Furcal's presence at first base has done is kept Lidge from throwing the slider. They keep throwing the fastball to Matt Kemp. That's the pitch that Kemp drilled to center field off Blanton earlier in the game. Right now, this is all on Furcal. 2-2 with 1 out.
He doesn't go, and the pitch is off the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Kemp has struck out 13 times in this postseason. I still got to send Furcal.
You risk to strike him out, throw him out. Let's see what the Dodgers do with a full count. He's going. Strikeout. Throw to second is not in time. And Utley tumbling in front of the bag keeps that ball on the infield. So for call to steal, Kemp strikes out. 2 down for Andre Ethier.
Watch the throw from the catcher is Ruiz throws from his knees and still gets a lot on it. I don't know how in the world Utley was able to block that ball. It looked like Furcal slid into Utley before the ball got there, but watch the throw from the catcher. Right from his knee, gets a lot on the throw, just a little bit short of the mark at second.
Lidge was 1.49 to the plate. That allowed Furcal to get that great jump. And the thing about Utley, he always gets in there late in those circumstances because he's trying to hold his position as long as he can in case Kemp put the ball in play.
Well, I think about the arm strength that Ruiz has to throw from his knees like that. And not only the strength, but Buck, as you mentioned, the accuracy to put that ball right on line to the second base bag.
Mechanically, he gets on top of it, and there's Furcal sliding into Utley, knocking him off his feet, but he's able to take the short hopper and keep the ball right there at second.
Well, the Dodgers have him right where they want him. Another 2-out scoring opportunity. All 4 runs tonight have come in 2-out situations. Ethier has had a lot of big hits for Los Angeles this year. And that one yanked foul past first, strike 1. Andre Ethier is 0 for 3 with a walk tonight.
The best throwing arm in the outfield is in right. Jason Worth, very accurate, and he's very good at charging it. Victorino charges very well. He too has a good arm.
There's that off-speed pitch, Ron, that you've talked about with Ethier all night.
Well, Brad Lidge knows that this is a run he cannot allow. He's going to pitch Ethier very tough, steady diet of breaking balls in the dirt.
And how about Ethier? Just 1 at bat in this series with a runner in scoring position. In fact, the entire postseason for Los Angeles. And he's in an 0-2 count. Edge just missed. Framed beautifully, but called a ball. 1-2 your count.
Good call by Ted Barrett. It's a setup pitch anyways. Lidge did, you'll take that if he calls it a strike, but it's a setup, either fastball in or breaking ball down and in.
Don't forget Ethier also had that bases loaded walk for Los Angeles, not an official at bat. But it is a plate appearance. Ball pops away, and Furcal moves up 90 feet, and that too might take away, Ron, that slider from Lidge.
I don't think it takes away his slider, but it might take that short one that he throws, that he bounces in front of the plate. Although Ruiz, one of the best in the business. Watch this move.
Yeah, he just got a little bit too much carry him off his chest protector. Boy, Furcal anticipating that ball in the dirt. It's a great break at second.
Got to anticipate here as well with 2 strikes and 2 out. Ball in the dirt. Over the outside corner, and Lidge strikes out Andre Ethier, who can't believe that call. Bottom of the 9th inning. Coverage tonight is brought to you by DirecTV. For the most sports in HD, call 1-800-DirecTV. Lower portion of the order up for Philadelphia. Ibanez, Feliz, Ruiz is scheduled, then the pitcher's spot. And we will see what Charlie Manuel does against Jonathan Broxton here in the 9th inning. Ibanez is 0-for-3. A sinking line drive caught by Manny Ramirez in the 6th inning with runners at the corners looms very large tonight. That was the last at bat for Raul tonight. And Matt Stairs is in the on-deck circle. And there was plenty of history between Stairs and Broxton. 1 ball, no strikes. Hudson on a ball that stayed down. He stays with it. And 1 out, 9th inning. And here is Matt Stairs. And he thinks about one thing when he steps in the batter's box as you look at Juan Pierre in defensively.
Matt Stairs hit a pinch hit 2-run home run off Jonathan Broxton in the 8th inning of a 5-5 tie in Game 4 of the NLCS last year. His only at bat against Broxton.
A very hot and cold year for Matt Stairs, who hit 5 home runs in the regular season, but endured an 0 for 30 slide at the plate. And there it is, game 4 last season out in Los Angeles. A mammoth home run from Matt Stairs. Two balls, no strikes. Phillies really do have 2 different types of left-handed pinch hitters on their bench, Stairs and Greg Dobbs.
Dobbs, of course, hits for average, but here, 1 run down, got to take a shot. There's Greg.
2 balls, no strikes. Bases clear, 1 out, 9th inning.
Matt Stairs has 19 career regular season pinch hit home runs, 2 behind Cliff Johnson, the all-time leader. So he's thinking one thing, inner half fastball and lift.
You haven't seen Matt Stairs swing. He does not get cheated.
And 4 straight puts the tying run aboard with 1 out in the 9th. Stairs does not run well. He'll be taken down for Eric Bruntlett, who will pinch run. So a walk for Broxton. Tying run aboard with 1 out. This National League Championship Series coverage on TBS has been presented by Budweiser.
I don't know about you two, but I don't think I've seen anyone this season throw the ball any firmer than Jonathan Broxton's throwing it right now.
Now, a couple of years ago, Joel Zumaya of the Tigers was up over 100 consistently, but Broxton throws, I think, even a heavier ball. Seems like it really comes in there with an awful lot of force.
One on, 1 out. Dodgers looking for a ground ball double play chance. Bruntlett a short lead at first. And a hit batsman. And the more the Dodgers fiddle here, the more you have to contend with the top of the Philly batting order, which is lurking. 2 on, 1 out.
Well, it just gets on the outside of this baseball and just rushes in. A tracer that finds Ruiz right on the belt buckle.
And this is not a meeting for the pitching coach. This is a meeting for the skipper. Everything all right out here, boys?
A 4-pitch walk to Matt Stairs, then Ruiz buzzed and hit. And now 2 men are on with 1 man out, and Greg Dobbs is in the batter's box as we check in with Craig Sager.
Well, the Dodgers tried to add an insurance run at the top of the 9th inning. They were not able to do that. Rafael Furcal got the base hit and the stolen base, but they did have an 18-minute at-bat. Jonathan Broxton sitting in the dugout through those 18 minutes on a very cold night. Maybe did not get warmed up enough as he went out here for this top of the inning. Can't find the strike zone.
Good point, Craig, as you see Furcal pointing out at Juan Pierre in left. Big lead by Bruntlett at second base in a 1-run game. And a strike to Greg Dobbs. He hit .247 in the regular season.
To get him back into a good delivery, they call for a slider, get his hand on top, and that got him ahead in this at bat.
One thing to keep in mind, too, if Dobbs cannot catch up to that Broxton fastball and hits it to left, Juan Pierre is out there defensively, and Juan is not known for having the strongest of throwing arms.
but he's an improvement over Manny if the ball's in the air.
Looping pop fly to third, and that's handled by Casey Blake. Dobbs took a shot to left, but couldn't get it over the Dodger third baseman's head, and that's a big second out.
Just jammed when you pitcher's throwing 100 miles an hour. Sometimes cannot get that head out. Just a little humpback liner there to Casey Blake.
So 2 on, 2 out. It's up to Jimmy Rollins.
Pretty good pitch selection at the first pitch of that at bat to get him right back into the good delivery by calling a slider. I don't think he has to call for the slider anymore. I think he's back where he wants to be.
Miles an hour, whatever that was. Strike one to Jimmy Rollins.
The ball almost looked like it came out cut down and in.
Yeah, that's all you need. A little late movement at 98.
And on a cold night, Dodgers need one more out to even the series. 0-1 to Rollins.
No one can stand still in that Dodger dugout. Maybe one can. Guy looking for the win.
And it's Randy Wolf who started. Belisario, Quo, Sherrill, now Broxton who followed. Line drive, right center field, base hit, 1-run scores. Ruiz around third. They're going to wave him. Here's the throw to the plate. It's not in time, and the Phillies win it in the ninth.
Gets the fastball and gets the head out. Charlie Manuel always says if the bottom of our order can get on and turn the lineup over, we can score some runs, and Jimmy Rollins comes through for them.
That long stroke that all summer long prohibited Jimmy Rollins from getting on a roll till later in the year. Short strokes, this 99-mile-an-hour fastball, places it in the gap. So well placed that the catcher Carlos Ruiz, with no play at the plate, scores a winning run for the Phillies.
A one-out walk, a one-out hit batsman, and a double to the gap by Jimmy Rollins. And the Philadelphia Phillies have shocked the Dodgers. They win it in the bottom of the ninth inning and have taken a 3-1 series lead as we join Craig Sager.
Well, Jimmy, a 2-run, 2-out double, bottom of the ninth to win this thing against a guy that was throwing 100 miles per hour. What were you looking for up there, and how were you able to get such good contact?
I was just looking for a ball middle lane. I faced him a number of times, and I've always found a way to put the barrel on the ball, but it was usually a fly ball. And I was just saying, all I have to do is catch a ball in the gap. I don't need a home run. I'll take a line drive in the gap. Worst case scenario, the game was tied. But, with him throwing 99, you hit the ball in the barrel, it goes pretty far.
You're running the bases, the two runners ahead of you scoring, the tying, then the winning run. You get around third. You get tackled by everybody, including big old Ryan Howard. You okay?
I'm all right. I have to curl up in a fetal position and start throwing punches back. And then J-Dub put his arm around my neck and gave me a choke, and I was finished after that. Oh, man.
What a big win, putting you guys up now in this series. The crowd very much on your hand, on your side. What does this win mean, going up 3-1?
Oh, man, this was big. The pressure's all on them. We just have to go out there, continue to execute, play our style of baseball, and just find a way to win one game. We wanted this. We needed this to put the pressure on them at our place. We don't want to go back to L.A. and get them back to home field advantage if we can avoid it. But, it's just one win. We still have a job to do. We have to win one more, so we'll take tomorrow off happily and come back ready on Wednesday.
All right, well, congratulations. Enjoy the victory.
All right, thank you.
Back to you, Chip.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. We talked about it earlier tonight. Buck, you just mentioned it, the bottom of this order, feeding the top. That's when Jimmy Rollins gets his big RBI chances. We've talked about the Phillies and their comeback ability. And the Dodgers, 1 out away from evening the series, now have to run the table if they're to keep this thing alive.
The Phillies have shown their character all year long, and we've seen it time and time again. And when you get to the top of the order, there's so many good bats top of the order, Ron, that can really do the damage.
Well, Jimmy Rollins, only this regular season, only one game winning RBI from the 7th inning on. And again, it's the road that gets Jonathan Broxton under a 1 ERA at home, Dodger Stadium, almost a 6 ERA on the road.
Phillies beat the Dodgers in the bottom of the 9th inning, 5-4 tonight's final score. Make sure you tune in Wednesday night on TBS. Game 5 for this Dodgers and Phillies series, a 3-1 series lead for Philadelphia. Our coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern with TBS MLB on deck. For Buck Martinez, Ron Darling, Craig Sager, and the crew, Chip Carey saying goodnight from Citizens Bank Park. TBS is your exclusive home for the National League Championship Series. After the break, stay tuned for Inside MLB presented by Captain Morgan. Remember to drink responsibly. What a finish in Philly tonight.